What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode 33. It's the John Cena episode. And today we're going to talk about the week that was in week 8. With me this evening, the full cast is back together, boys. Happy to have us all together again. Starting off with from Denver, Colorado, but currently where in SoCal, Jason?
I am in Menifee, California.
Very nice. Just got back from a Dodgers game, right? How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Yes, I was live at the Mets game yesterday, and saw them get a big win over the Dodgers. And I'll be going to see them in San Diego on Wednesday, and I'll be in Anaheim on Saturday.
That is awesome. That is a tremendous trip that you're going on. I'm super jealous, dude.
I'm excited.
I have my own dreams of doing an East Coast trip that we're gonna have to put together at some point. And one of the guys that might be on that East Coast trip is right down there. He's from Hillsdale, New Jersey. Mike Haber. Mike, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Doing great. I'm kind of exhausted, Monday of teaching, but I only have two weeks of school left, so just got to get through them. And yeah, no, I'm excited to take a break from that and do this because this is everything. I love it.
I hear you. I certainly could see a Mike Haber run completely coinciding with the end of school. I could also see that for Bobby Russo. So we'll see what happens in the few coming weeks as schools begin to close.
The teachers are coming, Joe.
Yeah,
teachers are coming.
I wonder if that's coinciding with Matt Losey's one win this week. Interesting. With us as well, returning to the show, the reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight Bigs champion 3 times over in 2006, in 2019, and in 2021. He is our esteemed commissioner, the man who calls the shots, and the man who kicked my ass this week, Ben Nisman. Ben, how are you this week, buddy?
Doing well, man. Thanks for the beautiful introduction, as usual. You forgot to say where I reside in, Aberdeen, New Jersey, and my boy is actually not from Colorado. My co-host is from Needham, New York. He is New York through and through, bled and bred. But getting back, yeah, what a week it was, man. And I was frustrated. I didn't get to talk to you guys last week, but I'm sure you guys talked about how frustrated I was. Things kind of changed on a dime. What a wacky beginning it was. And it was just crazier the whole way through. And I got to believe I'm not the only manager yesterday when we thought this was one of the craziest fucking baseball Sundays I've ever seen. As far as so many comebacks, incredible. Last week, this show began with the two brothers at the top, 1 and 2, Christian and Joe Schubert, went head to head. This time, it's the heart and the soul here, doing it again. We've done it so many times before. Jason calls us the Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart of fantasy baseball. That's what it felt like, man. What a beginning it was. What an ending. Take us through it.
Let's dive into this thing. It is never, ever a moment that I don't enjoy playing against Ben Nisman. He gets a 12-5 win over me this week. And Ben, on Sunday, runs were tied. We'll get to what happened on Sunday. Homers, I had a 2-homer lead, and saves were also tied. So you tied one category and took 2 others from me. You won by 4 walks, the 2 saves, and 3 relief appearances. It is my first loss in this category this season, for what that's worth. I won by 2 losses, and we tied in triples, homers, and wins. On your bench this week, Benjamin, you're smiling. Do you know that this is not going to be a great number?
Well, the thing is, I'm just wondering if you guys counted certain things like the times where a guy was dropped on my team that day when if his bench was put into the whole equation of what you were doing. Like, for instance, on Sunday, I dropped Santander and picked up Adele after the bell. Do you count the fact that Santander was sad? and
Yeah.
Okay. This
Yeah,
was
'cause
not a
you-
good number though, huh?
Because you
All right.
chose not to play him, right?
Correct. But I appreciate that you notice these things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that's
Oh yeah.
easily overlooked.
Oh yeah.
So the number is, Benjamin, 12 for 38.
Wow, that's shitty. Okay. 327.
It's 316, stone cold.
Stone cold.
Nice.
A double, a homer, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 2 errors. The only thing that matters is the home run. And Mike Haber, you're saying that was on what day? Is that on Tuesday?
Yeah, and
Yep.
Polanco was not even starting.
He wasn't even
so,
starting in the lineup, so
Yeah.
Who was it? Wait, what was it?
Sorry, Peterson, not
Peterson.
Polanco. Peterson. Sorry.
Peterson wasn't starting in the game, and he was on the bench, but he did homer in the game later on.
Oh,
You can't
okay.
predict that.
He get a pinch hit home run.
Yeah.
Right. He usually
Yeah.
comes in the middle
Okay.
innings when they're facing a lefty to platoon with Darren Ruff or somebody. Like, you could play it, but if you have a better option that's going to play a full game, we get it.
Yeah, and he had
Yeah,
a full
and-
lineup, I think.
Yeah.
Not only that, I felt like all of the hitters on my team coming in from last week were either hot or heating up or overdue. So I felt like I had to play by the numbers and play starters that I knew would have more at bats.
Yeah. And Jock Peterson has finally come back for you, and he has been tremendous now. At
Yeah,
least
he
in the
really
last,
has.
like, week or so. The
Yeah.
missed 4 for 6 with 3 homers. Though.
All right, yeah. 8 RBIs, 3 runs. No, believe
Let's
me.
talk
that-
about your moves
oh,
this week, Benjamin.
We'll get into that another time.
Your moves for the week: you dropped JD Davis and picked up Eric Fetty, who gave you, where are we? 6 innings, a loss, a homer, 3 walks, a strikeout, a 15 ERA, and a 3 WHIP. You dropped Ryan Brazier for Daniel Lynch, Matt Moore for Justin Steele. Those guys were interesting on Sunday. Daniel Lynch gets dropped for John Gray. Juan Miranda gets dropped for Adrian Hauser. Adrian Hauser for Sir Anthony Dominguez. Arano, I'm going to ask you about that guy in a minute. Arano gets dropped for David Peterson. John Gray gets dropped for Chasen Shreve. Eric Fetty gets dropped for Patrick Corbin. David Peterson for Paxton, not quite. You almost got it, Mike. It's Packy Naughton, because that's not a 50s sitcom name. You dropped Santander for JD Davis, and Packy Naughton back out for Joe Adele after the bell. 12 ads, 2 hitters, 8 starters, 2 relievers. Your MVP this week, we're going to talk about Joseph Votto. I texted you when he hit the first home run of the week, I believe, and was telling you that he had homered. That was about the last time we talked until today. 8 for 31 is the number. That's a 273 batting average. 4 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a 360 on base percentage. Your least valuable hitter is J.P. Crawford, a 167 and a 231 on base. 4 runs, a double, a homer, an RBI, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Your Cy Young, John Gray, perhaps, who is no longer on the team. 7 innings, a homer, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 129 and an 071. That's not a good enough start to get a second start on the team, Benji?
It was considered. However, firstly, I knew that my goal was to beat you at all costs. So it meant that I was going to have to shed someone that I was going to potentially consider for the next week. I couldn't consider that next week until the end of the week. And when I was looking at the game log of him, and I was thinking, this is his best performance, basically. Everything is either hot, cold, hot, cold. I feel like I should learn my lesson from what just happened on a Monday when I played a pitcher that I was unsure about. I can't wait to get into all of this with you.
Yeah,
it's just so
great.
much. It's who covered my matchup?
Mike. Yeah. The Cy Young this week is Taylor Rogers. 2 2/3, 2 losses, a save, a walk, a 1350, and a 150 with 4 relief appearances.
Wait,
On my
wait,
bench,
I'm so, wait. I'm sorry. Fetty isn't the Sayak? He had 2 starts. What the hell did he do? That was a benefit.
he had 2 starts on the team.
At least.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
gross. Yeah, 2 starts.
Yeah,
He
that's
somehow he
up
doesn't
there.
get 2 losses with that. Yeah, no, this is definitely
Yeah,
the
no.
guy.
Yeah,
They
I thought it
bailed
was
him out
one
here
start,
against Cincy.
6 innings, but okay, 2 starts. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely the guy. 2 starts, 6 innings, a loss, a homer, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 15 ERA, and a 3 WHIP. Yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised you played him in the second
Right.
game.
Well,
Yeah,
there was a reason for that.
Okay. I'm sure.
All right.
There was. I mean, we'll get into all of it, but yes, there was. I mean, I can't wait. Let's go.
All right.
What's next?
On
Your
my bench this week, Benjamin 3 for 8.
Okay. Very small sample size. 3 for 8 is that 375?
It is 375. 2 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Nothing plays. For my moves this week, I dropped Tyler Kinley, picked up Luke Voigt. I dropped John Gray, and I picked up Miguel Sanchez, which is a Simpsons reference, which is what I changed my name to. Say hello to Miguel Sanchez.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a Simpsons reference. When
I didn't know you were a Simpsons guy. Okay.
I'm not a huge Simpsons guy, but I saw the name and it clicked something in my head. I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of obscure, but I'm going with it. Lionel Hutz is burning all of his files in his house. And Lisa says, "Why are you burning all your files?" And he says, "Lionel Hutz no longer exists. Say hello to Miguel Sanchez."
Oh,
Mm.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also
Very
added Jesus Sanchez, which we'll get to him later. I dropped Miguel Sanchez for Phil Maton, dropped Luke Voigt for Luis Rengifo, dropped Phil Maton for Diego Castillo, dropped Adam Ottavino for Joe Bob Herget. I like that guy. Joe, until I didn't like that guy anymore. Joe Bob Herget gets dropped the next day for Ryan Brazier, Matt Liebertor for Jaime Barria. I don't love that guy. Edwin Rios gets dropped for John Birdie. Thank you for your service, Edwin Rios. You just tore your hamstring. You're going to be out for like 3 months. Get well soon. Dropped Jaime Barria for Drew Verhagen and Ryan Brazier. Added Sam Henkes and dropped Verhagen and Rengifo. All 12, 4 hitters and 8 relievers, and still didn't beat him in relief appearances. My MVP this week is Jesus Sanchez. 318 average, a 304 on base percentage, so no walks, 5 runs, a double, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, and 4 strikeouts. My least valuable hitter is Adley Rutschman, 095 with a 136, a run, a double, 9 strikeouts, and an error. My Cy Young goes to Diego Castillo. Very
No
nice.
doubt. No
3
doubt.
innings, 3 innings, 2 wins, 6 strikeouts, an 033, and 2 relief appearances. The Cy Young is Matthew Liebertor. Man, I wanted this kid to be good. 3 and a
So did
third,
I.
a loss, 3 homers, 3 walks, a strikeout, a 1080, and a 270. Benjamin, where shall we begin?
I don't know. I really
Let's
don't
start with
know. I guess
Monday.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm staring at that decision with Fetty for JD Davis
Mhm.
for maybe an hour and a half, thinking about the whole point of picking up JD Davis when I picked him up the week before was knowing that there's a lefty on the mound. JD Davis is gonna play, right? It's a short week.
Mhm.
Playing Miranda at third, he gets the home run. Sanchez gets a home run. I'm starting off good.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, I could really put Joe in a corner if I can get a good start, a decent start to start the week. I know it's Monday. I know I'm taking a risk, but that's a good opportunity here because I've had a good offensive week. Let me give it a shot. With 5 minutes before first pitch, I go with Eric Fetty. I let go of JD Davis, and I live with that decision. And little did I know that once I started that guy and that game began, I guess I just felt like the Mets were due to go cold and they were missing a couple pieces like Nimmo. I didn't realize that decision would change everything I do for the next 7 days. And man, I can't believe what we just like experienced together, dude. I will never forget this matchup, especially because I had so much emotion from how the last day ended, you know? So going from the Matt Losi into this and seeing that Fetty couldn't get an out for the first 7 batters or something, right? It was
it was a consecutive just punching in the face.
He
gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but gave up a pair. Gave up a pair in the bottom.
No, he
of the
didn't give up a
first,
bomb yet. Yeah,
and
he didn't give
4
up a bomb
more
yet.
across the plate before he was mercifully pulled from the contest. So
Yes.
that was 7 over an inning and a third.
Yeah, I think and I think his ERA was something like 32 or 64 or something
40.
wild. Like
40 and a half.
Okay.
40 and a half.
40 and a half. And at that point, I was just like, okay, I gotta boat race this guy. You know, I don't have a choice. And yes, I understand Fetty. Well, how the hell do you keep him? But he might get another start. So I waited, and he did. You know, so I just and I noticed that he wasn't actually a probable until, you know, Wednesday, Thursday. Finally, I'm just like, okay, so at least it wasn't wasted time. You know, and it was Steele was the same thing. Like when I found out he was going to have another start, I stuck to it. You know, and that was one way that I was going. I'm sort of you know, saying how I did it, but I knew that starting pitching was going to be a factor, and I knew that somehow I needed to stay ahead of you in ads. I needed to, and I stayed significantly ahead of you. I was probably 3 or 4 ahead of you for most of the week, where I had that advantage.
On Sunday, and I think you had like 8 or 9 at that point.
Yeah. But even so, I remember when you had 7 and I had 4. You know, and just it was kind of just playing that game for a while. And here's what I'll say: I'm not pumping my chest, you know, pumped up as much as I could be, because I knew you were shorthanded, man. And I was too. I was playing with 24 and you were playing with 23, basically. So I had that advantage also. I think my best decisions were sticking by the strategy and being patient, and I guess sticking to my guns with a lot of things. But I mean, some things we hadn't talked about is I dropped Jose Miranda for one of those starting pitchers, and the dude hits 2 bombs the next day. The next day, I've committed to Jose Miranda for almost 6 weeks now, and he's not done anything like that. But he had the bomb on Monday, and then he started doing what he usually does, is just be shitty. You know, even the double header. Right? Yahoo has to get their shit together, because they said that he was on the injured list, you know, and he wasn't playing in the first game of the doubleheader. He was X'd out. So that made sense to me. So I benched him. He ended up going 0 for 4 on the bench in the second game of the doubleheader. So like sometimes those things do work in your favor, I will admit. But my God, Joe, the hitting was so close on Sunday. There were 6 categories up in the air in hitting. And that's kind of just what happened. It went in a completely different direction. I was very fortunate that I could hang with you. I didn't play with a third baseman for 6 days, right? 5 days I didn't play with a third baseman. You know,
I did not understand what was happening here. There were ample third basemen available out on the wire, and I'm just watching you not play with them. And I'm like,
no, that wasn't the goal.
I can't get a fucking day to save my life. I had 1 day out of 7 that offensively I beat you.
Yeah.
And that is
I noticed
not
that.
what I put this team together to do.
No, but you were also playing with some subs.
Sure.
You know, you had a couple of cold hitters.
And the best thing I had to go against this was that series between the Rockies and the Marlins in Coors Field. I have no earthly idea how anybody didn't see this coming, where they score, I don't know, 60 runs in 2 games in a doubleheader.
Yeah.
And I get Jesus Sanchez, who hits me 4 bombs and drives in 8. Just ridiculous. I could not get a hit to save my life other than that day. I think it was Friday. Was it Friday? No, I hit 161 on Friday. It was one day. Anyway, the other thing that I was doing, and I just wanted to catch you in relief appearances, and I just
I
didn't
know.
have the ability to get there.
I know.
And
I don't know. To be honest with you, I was so focused on getting innings pitched and strikeouts and just watching that. And as I realized I was going to be sacrificing hitting categories, I had committed to doing that without a third baseman, and maybe I can like luck into strikeouts. And that's what was slowly starting to happen as the week progressed. But relief, yeah, like I wanted to fill up the bullpen, but I couldn't really towards the end. There was a point where I actually couldn't fill up the bullpen. So I guess your guys weren't coming in, or my guys were just coming in with regularity. And then, holy shit, let's talk about Sunday before we get into anything else.
yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. I'm going to pull it up
All
and
right.
share the screen here. Ben's getting ready. Start on your
Guys.
side or my side?
Let's start on mine because I know what happened there.
Okay.
All right. I must have put in some kind of default button on the app that says automatically start players if they have games. And I was staring at my phone basically for 15 minutes until first pitch. And I noticed, oh my God, Rendon was just like, I didn't put Rendon in third. So I take him out, but I didn't look at the pitchers. So there was two pitchers in Beeks and Sir Anthony Dominguez that were not supposed to be stuck in there. And I noticed it a minute late that they were in there. And I said, wow, if this really is, this comes back to burn me. I have 3 ads left. There's no freaking guys with SP eligibility that I really believe in. I got to take a third baseman today with all these offensive categories that are close. So I know, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what can I do? Okay, so I used one of them already on Corbin. And now I'm like, I called Jimmy. I'm like, hey, what do you know about Garrett Richards? Like, does, and he's like, he couldn't tell me anything, I mean, understandably, because it's not on the team anymore, but I'm like, okay, I think I'm doing it. I was going to flip Packy Naughton out for Garrett Richards and make that my last move. But I was like, no, maybe Joe's guys won't come in today. Joe, you did a hell of a job with the bullpen. Like, honestly, like on Sunday, it was as impressive and made me sweat as much as possible, dude. So Corbin doesn't pitch well in the first, but his team gets him together. It's 4-2 now, and it's 4-3. Now the tying run is in scoring position. He gets the win, and I'm able to go ahead in that category. Holy shit. Meanwhile, all right, this Angels game is out of hand. It doesn't look like Iglesias is going to come in for the save. No, wait, he is. He's coming in for a 2-inning save. He's going to do it. Okay, all right. Looks like my guy. Okay, fine. The Brewers now they don't have the lead anymore. Okay, so now the Padres have the lead. Then Bryce Harper hits a game-tying home run, and now forget about the save, Joe. Oh, but wait, he's in line for the win. Look at that. All they have to do is take the lead in the 10th, in the 9th. And they take the lead in the top. They take the lead in the top of the 9th. Here comes the win, right? But well, wait, it's baseball. And the Angels are cold as fuck. And Familia gives up some base runners. And then they bring in
Joe Bob Herget.
That's right. Hermit the Hermit. And they bring him in. And he blows it. And I can't believe, oh my God, I still have this win preserved. Mm-hmm. And now, all of a sudden, the Brewers take the lead, right? Or the Brewers take the lead and the 10th. And then the Padres tie it. They come back. They take the lead. Rogers gets the save. Holy shit, everything is going smooth. But Joe's pitchers, they keep coming in. The guy at the Tigers, Fulmer, he comes in.
He was good.
You couldn't seem to get yourself in a save position. The Orioles never had the lead. The Blue Jays never had the lead. And my guys, and then, okay, the Braves and the Rockies, it's getting a little out of hand, but the game gets closer. And then fucking Smith comes in. He gives up a bomb, makes it a save situation. Now I think I'm good. I'm pretty good on saves, but relief appearances is still close. Once Jansen comes in, I take that category, and you can't come back because you only have a limited amount. So I was counting them on my hands. I'm like, all I need is 3, you know, and but I actually only needed 2, I believe, out of the 4. And amazingly, I'm thinking I got wins, I got innings, I got saves, I got strikeout. It looks like I'm going to get homers given up because I can pull steal right now.
He was
The
fucking
Mariners
great.
are down. The Mariners are down 3 runs in the 9th to the Texas Rangers, and I'm thinking, oh man, that fine. Diego Castillo, like he can't come into the game unless they tie the game. They're not going to score 3 runs in the 9th. Come on. Oh wait, it's fantasy baseball, and it's baseball, and it's just I can't believe it. Crawford had 1 RBI. That was it. The one to fucking tie that game and get Diego Castillo in that position. And he pitched great, man. But this is what's fucking crazy about that also. He wasn't sharp in that inning. And the winning run is on second base for the Rangers. Losses. I'm up by 1, Joe. A base hit, and I'm tying losses. And instead of losses, he ends up getting a win instead to tie the category. And there I am going with Justin Steele on Sunday night. The team is up 2-0. It's 2-2. They have a guy in scoring position. They're never able to get him a lead ever again in the game. So that was whatever. And I understood that I got so many breaks with the ACS and the fact that the Blue Jays couldn't get ahead of the Twins. Like there were so many things that were falling in my favor that when Diego Castillo got that win, I was almost like, that was one for Joe. That was a good pickup, and that's how it goes sometimes. Like, believe me, usually, you know, I'm throwing something against the wall when certain things like that happen. But when the offense went in that direction, and once
That's
Jansen
the next thing I want to talk about. That's the next thing I want to talk about is the offense on Sunday. Jansen's save solidifies that and solidifies the relief appearances. The offense on Sunday. You come out hitting 282 with a 349, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 doubles, and 7 runs. We were tied in runs. I was 2 ahead of you in homers, and you tied it. We were very close in RBIs. We were close in a lot of categories.
Yeah, I had 1 RBI. I was up by 1 RBI. I had 1 RBI on you, and average and on base were close. And the only thing we knew for sure is that you were going to win in stolen bases and I was going to win in strikeouts. That was basically all we really knew. And we just had to let it play out.
Let it fall. You hit 282. I hit 103. I had 3 hits on the day.
Yeah.
Like, my team hasn't hit in a month. I was just hoping that this Sunday was going to be the day that they break out. And I had seen a hot day earlier in the week and said, you know what? I'm riding with this pile of replacements until I get these 3 dudes back. 2 of them should be this week. I didn't want to get blown out, but goddamn, like, I couldn't luck into anything and got crushed offensively.
That was the weirdest thing that happened here, by the way. Out of everything that's gone on in this matchup, probably the weird thing about it was how cold you were. And I think the way my Sunday started, the fact that Miguel Cabrera was starting it out, was just he got on base every single time. He was 3 for 3 with a walk. They couldn't get him out.
When he scores that run, like, you went 5 for your first 5 on Sunday.
Yeah,
I went 0 for 5. I went 0 for my first 4 fucking team.
Yeah, it was 1,000 to start the week. It was really, really weird, man. And then how about the fact that Blackman, who was besides Crawford, Blackman, I'm pretty sure had an awful week. And then he's the one that hits the home run off Jansen, off my pitcher, and he ties that category for me. That was very, very weird for me. And then all of a sudden, home runs are kind of close. But I looked at Justin Steele, and it's like he's given up 2 home runs this whole season over 45 innings. Pretty good pitcher. If anyone wants him, I'd drop him today.
You up the standings to 3rd place this week, 5 back of the leader. It dumps me from the lead all the way down to 6.5 back.
Yeah, and now I've beaten you 4 straight times.
I told you guys
And
off air that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what? That I was going to bring it up?
That was the number. I thought it was 4 in a row.
Yeah, it was almost 5. We can look back at 2019, how close that matchup was. You beat me at 10-9 when I benched my whole offense, and it came down to like relief appearances and a save. Anyway, look again. This was, I think, 2 managers who are good managers and did manage well, but both of us were poor GMs this week for the most part. I think we just played the game the way, it's, day to day, and did the best we could with what we had. But as far as the decisions we made, I don't think I was like horrible or bad, but I know that if I had just not done the Fetty move, I could have killed you this week.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Without that move, you would have annihilated me. I'm fortunate to get out of here with as horrible a loss as it was. Guys, anything to add here?
Yeah, please.
Mike, you
been
did
an
the
hour,
research on this one. What did you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of weird to watch because everything that usually happens with the two of you was happening the opposite. Like Ben was pitching to an ERA close to 6 throughout the week and like still dominating, and Joe was hitting under 200 throughout the week, and like it was just very bizarre to see this thing like unfold. And the fact that both of you like had 2 saves going into Sunday, I was like, this is bizarre. Like, what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ben has gotten like 10, 11, 12 saves in 1 week, and Joe's been close to that number too. Like, it was definitely like a I don't know, like a bizarro world version of a normal matchup for the two of you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna chalk this one up as my bad loss for the season. I always have one. There was.
And this is not. I mean, look, we're talking about -7. It's not.
Mhm.
It's not that horrible. You know what I mean? You're 20, or you 20 over. I think you're 20 over 500 right now. And I think 7th place is only like a few over 500. So it's look. There's still anything can. Everything's going to flip in 2 weeks, obviously. But I'm just saying right now, if you got Carlson back on Sunday, which I think you do, and a couple of the other guys are coming back soon.
Muncy should be back. McGill should be back. So I moved Wander to the IL and with DeGrom. So those are going to be the guys that I'm going to be waiting on.
I'm stunned that I have Kershaw as soon as I do. They're saying that his next start is going to be in the majors.
Yeah.
So have him back, and then Robles is supposed to be back at the end of the week. I'm assuming that he gets his closer job back, though he might have lost it by now. They were excited in saying like that he's going to be back into the bullpen as soon as possible. So that made me feel like optimistic that he might keep that role. And then it's just Scherzer and Rendon and figuring out this third baseman thing. I truly, honestly, over the last few weeks, which have been fortunate for me, it was a win on Josh 12-8, and then the 14-6 win on Matt, and now the 12-5. And these are decent wins. I don't exactly know how it's happening against teams that are evidently more superior, especially right now with my injuries. But I mean, I'll chalk it off to maybe just like preparation and commitment, but there's just something weird happening. I think that I'm just playing an opponent at the right time. I don't know.
If that is indeed the case, you'll see it catch up with you in the coming weeks. We are looking at your schedule here, and you've got Costas, and then you've got Ari, Frank, and Brian Lebo. So it's going to be an interesting next few weeks for you. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on to the next matchup here. It is one of the 2 blowouts of the week, and it is a guy who I think we should be rather concerned about if this is what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. Welcome Costas Paragas back into the standings here and in the fight, because this put him in 7th place. He is the top of what is the Chasers, because there are 6 teams that have kind of made themselves a few games out, and this is the group that is chasing them. But it is good to see Costas get a good win here. On Sunday, losses were tied. Christian took that. Took a bad loss. Walks were 3 to Christian's favor, and he gave up too many walks for Sunday. Costas closed categories, wins by 2 tripled, an RBI. That was the loss that I talked about. A save, a home run given up by a pitcher, the walk given up by the pitcher, and 24 ticks on the ERA, and 3 relief appearances. Christian won steals by 1, wins by 2, and 9 ticks on the whip. They tied in nothing. For Costas on his bench this week, Benjamin, 7 for 36.
One for 9. What the fuck is 1 for 9? I don't know what 1 for 9 is, Joe.
That's
150.
He almost nailed it anyway. 194. It's a little worse than a 1 for 5, not a 1 for 9.
Whatever.
36, not 60.
Hello, yes, come on. I divided completely incorrectly and somehow lucked into it, like usual.
It was a good job. That's a good job. We see here that he had 5
7.
runs. He had 5 runs,
1 for 6.
2 doubles, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts, and 1 error. None of it plays. His moves this week. Let's hear about these moves that he had this week. We're going to start. He drops Kyle Freeland for Kyle Nelson. He drops Darren Ruff for Matt Whistler. 2 innings, a walk, 3 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a 1 whip with a 1 relief appearance. He drops Ben Gamble for Jake Woodford, who got optioned to AAA. That's good work. He drops Woodford for Alejandro Kirk. That's a good one. 3 for 4. Yeah. 2 runs, or was it 2 2-run homers? Is that what I'm seeing there?
Yes.
Nice. He drops AJ Puck for Kyle Farmer. He drops Alec Thomas for Caleb Thielbar. An inning, a strikeout, nothing earned, and a relief appearance. He drops Sam Henkes for Matt Reynolds. He drops Kyle Nelson for Rafael Ortega. He drops Sam Mole for Dylan Tate. He drops Rafael Ortega for Trevor Richard. There's the guy. That's somebody you should probably ask about Trevor Richards, Ben. He drops Caleb Thielbar for Glenn Otto. 5 innings, a win, a homer, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3.60 ERA, 1.40 WHIP against Seattle. He drops James Kaprelian for Tyler Wells. Mike Haber, that's your guy, is it not? 4 innings, a no decision, 2 homers, 2 walks, a strikeout, a 4.50, and a 1 WHIP against Cleveland. He used all 12. His MVP this week, Alejandro Kirk. 421 with a 500 on-base percentage, 6 runs, a double, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts out of the catcher's position with a pickup on Tuesday.
Of the week. Pickup of the week.
Well done. Least valuable hitter is going to be Jonathan Daza or Connor Joe or Cedric Mullins. Yeah. Cedric Mullins hit 200, Joe hit 200, and Daza hit 200. I think we'll give it to Daza here. He has the error. 429 on base with 1 walk, so not a very large sample size either. The Cy Young this week is Tyler Anderson. Man, it upsets me that he's got this guy. 6 innings, a win, 5 strikeouts, nothing earned, no 50 whip. Dude, this dude is their number 5, and those are not number 5 numbers.
Yeah, he's not the number 5. There's no way he's the number 5 anymore. And honestly, he's shown signs of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the 2020 season, it was fairly proven that this guy could start in the big leagues.
He's got that funky kick delivery. I certainly enjoy. The Cy Yuck, James Kaprelian, 5 1/3, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, a strikeout, a 675, and a 1.31. Not the greatest, but I don't see anybody else that was worse than that. He pitched pretty well. They both did.
He did.
2.65 and a 2.89. So.
Wow. Holy moly.
For Christian on his bench, he went 10 for 35.
Damn, I should be able to do this. 3, maybe not even 3. 3. Fuck it, 300. I don't know.
286. He almost
Yeah,
nailed
that
it
was-
again.
No, I was gonna go there. I was really gonna go there. That was not good. That was not good at all.
5 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. That's the one that hurts. The steal, 7 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Nothing but the RBIs play, and the biggest
It was
one.
there's like 5 home runs on the bench one day or something, right?
We're
He
gonna
benched
take a look.
Harper.
He benched Harper on Thursday.
Right, that was it.
Two
That
for
was
two.
it.
He had 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Why are you benching your best player?
Must be nice.
That was
Must be nice.
you need to have the privilege to do that.
Yeah.
So
I-
yeah.
I mean, he was out the day before, and I know he's been banged up. But if he's in the lineup, you put him in. Like
You
that's
got to.
that's it. Yeah.
Not if it's on Sunday and there are certain things that are like I'm killing them in walks,
Sure.
and on base
Sure.
percentage, but strikeouts. I get it. I don't
But
like
on
it.
Thursday-
I get it. Over management.
Yeah, it just
Over management.
it seems pretty egregious. His moves this week: he drops Eliezer Hernandez for Jose Alvarez, an inning and a third, a win, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, nothing earned, a 150 whip, a relief appearance against Philadelphia. He drops Vidal Brujan for Brendan Donovan. That guy's annoying. He drops Jose Alvarez for Josiah Gray. 6 innings, a win, a homer, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 150, and an 083 whip in Cincinnati. He drops Jesse Chavez for Dane Dunning. 7 innings, a no decision, a homer, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 257, and an 043 at home against Seattle. Dane Dunning gets dropped for Zach Davies. 7 2/3, a no decision, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, an 065 in Pittsburgh. And he drops Davies for Cole Sulser, an inning, a strikeout, nothing earned, and a relief appearance. His MVP this week is Brendan Donovan. We talked about it when he picked him up. That Mike Haber, you owned this guy for a moment. He came back this week, 278, 350, 4 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts.
I think that's Gorman. I think that's Gorman.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how that's pronounced?
Or
Yeah.
Gorman.
Move up one guy.
Oh, Donovan, 385 and a 484. Yeah, 3 runs, 3 doubles, 6 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That's the
That
line
guy.
Sounds more
for
like
Brendan
it.
Donovan.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Yeah,
Jeremy
I own
Pena.
it. I own this guy. He's
And-
very versatile.
And he's also like hitting a ton. It's 4 for 8 in the doubleheader.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember him against the Mets being an absolute pain in the ass. Like he was
Yeah,
on
he,
base
Yes.
he
like
texted
all
him.
the
He
Yeah.
said,
time.
"This guy's a pain in the ass." He is. He really is. 319, like him, Yepes, Gorman,
Edman.
Edmund, Carlson's coming back. Like,
Just
Yeah.
annoying guys.
Pesky.
Yeah. Yeah.
His least valuable hitter this week is Jeremy Pena, 208 with a 269, a run, a double, an RBI, and 6 strikeouts. Cy Young this week rather. Shane Bieber, 7 innings, a win, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, 257 and an 071. The Cy Yuck is Kevin Gossman, 8 2/3, a win, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a 6.23 and a 196. All right, so he threw a dud. He's been amazing for the first 2 months.
It was 2 duds. I mean, he got the win against the White Sox, but it wasn't great. That was 2 starts, and they weren't very good.
Yeah.
Let's get the timer started.
What's his
Jason,
ERA? What's his ERA for the season?
for the season?
278.
Oh,
Still great.
Gossman? Yeah, 278. Let's start the timer here. We see Costas get healthy, and we see Christian take a pretty big whooping. Not exactly when we expected him to take it, but this is an interesting win. Jason, you did the research on this one. What did you see?
Yeah, I was a little nervous at first for Costas. He used 6 ads in the first 2 days of the week, and we've seen this from him before, where he will go a little ad crazy at the beginning of the week and not give his guys a chance to play it out. But it worked out this time. I mean, Alondra Kirk and Alondra Kirk was probably the pickup of the week. Like the guy killed it. Ortega was good for him. I think Kyle Farmer was good for him. So his ads worked this week. It's not going to happen all the time, but it happened for him this week and at the right time, because the whole week it was never even close. The whole week Casas had a sizable lead Monday through Sunday. It was really impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a whooping from Monday, 13-3, and it ends 15-6. The closest it ever was maybe 13-7 on Saturday. Like that's about it. But this is a pretty bad loss, and the first really bad loss for this manager in this league. Mike Haber, what are you seeing here from Christian that might be the reason, or are we just seeing some regression back to the middle here?
I think it's got to be regression. I mean, he started hot, but I don't think we expected this to necessarily ride the entire season. Like, there are peaks and valleys that every manager is going to go through. What's disappointing for him is that he threw 84 innings, 6 wins, 82 strikeouts, a 2.89 ERA, and he lost 15-6. Like, he had a pretty decent pitching week. I mean, 5 saves isn't bad. Like, 19 relief appearances isn't bad.
Even the hitting side, he hit 269 with a 331. Like, that's
You're stealing everything that I'm gonna say. I don't have anything left.
That's what we're trying to do, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
We really work for this job.
Yeah, look, Costas had himself a great week. I do want to give credit where it's due that Christian had himself a nice week too. He streamed a couple of really nice pitchers. Try 3 in back-to-back starts in Josiah Gray, Dane Dunning, and Zach Davies. All 3 of those were absolutely incredible, and he still can't win ERA. Ben, what do you got for us?
Not only still can't win ERA, he has to take losses as a result by 1. He loses home runs given up by 1. He gets 34 RBIs and loses it, by 1. If I'm him right now, after the Harper benching, I feel like I'm so curious what his opinion is of this league, the competition, and how crazy, with the stats that we've implemented in this league, how crazy it can get day to day and towards the end of the week. And I was fascinated by the fact that this guy could have such an excellent week and would have dominated most teams, but it just happened to be that Costas matched up well this week. And with a 309 and a 407, that tops a 269 average, and a 331 on base, which is as solid as you can ask for week to week. A sub-3 ERA, a 101 whip, that amazingly does get the win, and he does go get those innings. But at the same time, I mean, when you have those kinds of numbers and you lose those categories, it's got to be not only frustrating, but scary, because now you can't expect that going forward. Like, the law of averages is going to catch up. And if you're playing an opponent that week that's hot, you might get crushed because you're due to be cold. So that's when I have a good week and I lose against an opponent that's hotter than me. I don't think there's anything more frustrating and dangerous going down the next stretch of weeks, wondering, can my guys really keep it up? And if they inevitably do go cold, like, will my opponent be cold as well? It's something that now he's potentially risking. Similar with Costas, like, do we all think now that Costas can stay hot and keep this ride going? Or is this, he's hot and he's due to go in the other direction? Scary, stupid hot.
Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be an interesting stretch for Costas. Especially over the last few weeks, he's kind of been up and down, and we saw that a lot with him. He would go on runs, clump wins together along with clumps of losses. Well, he's done it again, only now he's throwing ties in there too. So it's just been a bizarre season for him. His next opponents, Ben, Bobby, Jason, and Josh Haber.
Wow.
It's a test. Oh, and for the record, his 309 batting average and a 407 on base led the league this week in that category. So, yeah. For Christian, his upcoming schedule is Ari, Frank, Lebo, Mike Sherman.
An opportunity for him to really
get right,
fatten up that lead, man, and solidify himself there. And require, if he can get really healthy over those next 4 weeks, you might be saying, how much can you really do to the guy to knock him out of a playoff spot? Because if he's already 40 over at that point,
he could just kind of.
We're running out of time.
He's able to, he could just be able to coast if he's able to. If he's able to knock off all 4 of these guys in a row. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to trip up somewhere, but remains to be seen where. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, gentlemen. And the next one is our biggest blowout of the week. This one also gives us a new manager atop the rankings who has not been atop the rankings this year. Ben Nisman, has he ever said, okay, thank you. This is the second time this year we have seen somebody who has never been in first place before sitting in first place. This is a weird season, and I love it.
Amazing. It really has been a freaking awesome season so far. And our fantasy, our own fantasy season has not disappointed at all. It has been really interesting. I realize you guys are a little bit less than where you'd hope to have been at this point, but you have to appreciate the craziness of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Chris Levy takes a 14-3 victory over Frank Bucco on Sunday. Chris had a 2-home run lead, and Frank tied that up. Frank had a 1 stolen base lead, and Chris tied that up. And the innings pitched, Frank had a 1 2/3 innings pitched lead, and Chris tied him. And this 85 innings, most in the league for the week. 85 innings would have beaten anybody else other than each other, and they tied. Go ahead.
Wow.
Close categories this week: a triple for Frank, 10 ticks on the batting average, and 2 relief appearances. For Chris, 2 doubles, 2 strikeouts, 2 win, and 2 losses. They tied in home runs, errors, stolen bases, and innings pitched. For Chris on his bench, Benjamin, he went 17 for 51.
I'm gonna go.
You got this, Ben. You got this.
I know I do. I know. 273.
It's a perfect third. 333.
Wait, is it?
17 for 51 is a perfect third.
Wow.
7 times 3 is 21.
51
is
over.
51.
Okay. You're gonna tell me that 51 is not a prime number. That's news to me today.
We're a math pod, kind of. 11.
Because learning is power.
11 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, 3 steals, 4 walks, 15 strikeouts. Where do you want to start with this? And yet, he won 14-3. He left this much on the bench, lost batting average by 10 ticks while hitting 333 on the bench, left 2 homers on the bench, left 3 steals on the bench, and won 14-3.
Wow.
His moves this week: he drops Zach Davies for Jacob Junis, 4 1/3, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 208 and a 115 whip. He adds Tristan Casas, first base prospect for the Boston Red Sox. He drops Dick Mountain for Mitch White. I'm trying to come up with a fun way to do that. It's like Miguel Blanco.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 innings, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a 540 and a 120. He drops Jacob Junis for Martin Maldonado, 1 for 3. Drops Maldonado for Travis Darno. Much better. I have no idea why this dude was out on the waiver wire for as long as he was. 3 for 5, 3 runs, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. He drops Mitch White for Graham Ashcraft. I'm going to call this the stream of the week. 7 innings, a win, a homer, five strikeouts, a walk, a 1.29 ERA, and an 0.71 WHIP. Benjamin Nisman, what team does Graham Ashcraft play for?
Oh God, what is it? The Pawtucket Patriots.
There you go. Cincinnati Reds. He adds Jed Lowry, 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts. He drops Jed Lowry for Brooks Raley, a third of an inning, a strikeout, a 54 ERA, and a 6 WHIP. Okay, you took a hand grenade. That sucks. And he picks up Adam Ottavino, an inning, 2 strikeouts, a 1 WHIP, and a relief appearance. His MVP this week, and arguably one of the front runners for NL MVP, Paul Goldschmidt. 286 with a 459, 10 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 9 walks, and 8 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter is going to be Alex Bregman, 105 and a 227, 2 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The Cy Young, Max Fried. I know Frank must have loved to see this guy put up 8 innings of shutout ball with a walk and 4 strikeouts and an 0.38 WHIP, and not get the win in Colorado from his opponent. That must have hurt so bad. The Cy Yuck is Penis Peak over here. 4 innings, a loss, 2 homers, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 13.50 ERA, 2.25 WHIP. For Frank this week, Benjamin, he went 6 for 22.
Okay. Sounds good to me. 6 for how many? 18?
22.
22. 274?
273. He almost nailed it.
Oh,
4 runs, a double, a home run on the bench. We're going to talk about this one. 2 RBIs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. The home run is on Wednesday. And he picked up Trevor Larnach to play him in the utility spot. And that dude decided to go 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And here's AJ Pollock with a homer on the bench in Toronto. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Batting leadoff.
Yep.
He had been in and out of the lineup, but like as soon as it's posted, his moves this week. He added Andres Jimenez, 2 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. He adds Cole Calhoun, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He drops Gene Segura, rest in peace, Gene Segura's season or thereabouts, because he's out 10 to 12 weeks with that finger injury. For Trevor Larnach, who I said went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He drops Trevor Larnach the next day for Luke Voigt, 2 for 5 with a run. I believe that was the day we were discussing. He and I were doing a Zoom hanging out, and he's like, I like Luke Voigt. I'm going to do a waiver claim. I have that for TikTok. He drops Harlan Garcia for Cionel Perez. Benjamin Nisman, who does Cionel Perez play for?
That would be the Hofstra Pride, Joe.
Yay!
That is not correct. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think. I actually don't even know myself.
No, it's the
I think
Orioles.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Baltimore. Okay, I knew it was a bad
Come
team.
on.
I knew it was a
Come
bad team.
on. The Pirates.
He also added Harold Castro, 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. He drops Hyun-Jin Ryu for Mike Minor. 4 innings, a loss, 3 homers, 4 strikeouts, an 11.25 and a 150. He drops Harold Castro for Zach Eflin. 8 innings, a win, a walk, 6 strikeouts, and an 0.75 whip. Great start. Why isn't he on the roster for longer? He drops Mike Minor for Caleb Killian. Ben, what team does Caleb Killian play for?
Come on, man, you're killing me. Is that the Lakewood Blue Claws?
Maybe at one time, but currently Chicago Cubs. 5 innings, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 5.40 and a 1 whip. He drops Cole Calhoun for Michael Harris 2, as opposed to Michael Harris 1, because Michael Harris 2 is Electric Boogaloo. 2 for 5 with a double.
That's awesome.
Dropped Caleb Killian for Zach Thompson. 5 innings, a win, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a 120. He drops Zach Eflin for Dean Kramer. This dude had just put up 8 innings of shutout ball. And you drop him for an Orioles pitcher who goes 4 1/3, a loss, a homer, a walk, 3 strikeouts, a 6.23 and a 1.38. And he dropped Yuli Gurriel. If you did not watch Biggs live yesterday, you should go watch it because Yuli Gurriel was a topic of conversation, and that drop happened live on the air. His MVP this week is Austin Riley, but I'm looking at a day, so I need to look at the whole thing. Austin Riley, 355, 412, 8 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter, Will Smith, 105. That is Will Smith, not the reliever and not the guy who slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, but the catcher in Los Angeles. 105 average, 261 on base, a run, a homer, an RBI, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He essentially had a solo home run and not a whole lot else. Great. The Cy Young is Zach Eflin. 8 innings, a win, a walk, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, and 0.75. I mean, this dude, it was against the Angels. Like, that's a good lineup. I know the Angels are sucking really bad right now, but this is a good start. And the next start's in Milwaukee. Like, if you need it, you can take it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you can bench it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like this dude needed to be kept on a roster, and I would be shocked if somebody didn't put a waiver claim in on him.
No doubt. And I feel like we were all looking at him, considering him, but we've probably at some point had picked him up and been burned by him in the past. And you get, then you get kind of gun shy on guys like that when that happens. I mean, I was really considering Eflin, especially after he was given that contract. And I was looking at his numbers versus Ranger Suarez, who was supposed to be basically the number 3 guy. And I think, like, Eflin's better. Eflin's a better pitcher than Suarez, at least right now. So he's taking that role in that contract, and I don't think he's going anywhere.
No. Somebody who might be going somewhere is Ryan Yarborough. 8 1/3, 2 losses, 2 homers, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 9.72 and a 1.92. This guy's not good, guys. This guy's bad. It's not a good pitcher. This is not a good pitcher. He wasn't a good pitcher last year when I owned him, and I somehow got like magic out of him. He's not good. He's not good. All he does is limit hard contact, and that only works for so long when you're throwing 78-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Really? I didn't even know that's what he does. I mean, why did he have so much success? Just because they couldn't hit the ball hard on him, basically, for 2 years?
And you don't let him see the lineup a third time around.
He's another Josh Fleming. That's exactly who he is.
That's exactly who he is. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing started. We've got a new man atop the rankings, and congratulations to Chris Levy. First, foremost, strong win. And I do want to give credit where it's due. Ben, you talk about it. We talk about it all the time. He squashed the bug.
He no doubt did, and it could have even been worse if Frank didn't hit his ass off on Sunday. I mean, I could assume that him watching that Braves game, if he was, when Acuna hits that home run, he threw one of his kids across the house. Like, because it's not like the Braves weren't going to win that game anyway, So for Acuna to hit the bomb off him, he's like, you kidding me? I hit 3 fucking home runs and I still can't win that category. And unbelievably, because that Mets-Dodgers game was so amazing. Jason, I'm jealous. That must have been quite a moment in memory. Amazing memory. And Will Smith gets another at bat somehow, and he hits that bomb to tie that category. And Frank, you got to be relieved that happened, because I mean, that's another one that you lose. Instead, it's a tie. It's not as bad. But yeah, this was a big bug squashing. And though I do feel like Frank can get healthy against a struggling James McCloskey, it's not a must win, but it's important to not get squashed again.
Yeah. Another loss like this might really have us question how good Frank's team is and what we've seen this year. Mike Haber, what are you seeing here from Chris Levy and Frank Bucco this week?
Look, this was the closest thing we've had to a shutout in a while. Everything that the 3 categories that Frank won, he won by a small margin. Yeah. So it's really, this was close. And I look at Chris Levy's team, and with Goldschmidt, Judge as 2 potential perennial MVPs on the same team, and then you have Acuna, and then you have Bregman, then you have Brantley. Like, this is a team that is not going anywhere. And I think it may be one of the best teams that Chris Levy's ever put together. So I hope he's like proud, and I hope he feels good at where he's at, but like keep working, because if this is the first time he's been in first place, like, dude, hold on to that. Hold on to that, because it feels good when it happens. And he's put in the time in this league, so he deserves it. So I'm happy for him.
I think we all echo those sentiments. Congratulations, Chris. Jason, what have you got for us on this matchup? I don't like the idea that Levy went 333 on the bench. How about you?
Yeah, and that's alarming. But when you like Mike said, when you got guys like Judge and Goldschmidt and all these superstars, what are you gonna do? With guys like Yastrzemski and Arise and Estrada, you're gonna bench him. So you're gonna have, if they all have a good week, you're gonna have a big bench week. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, and sometimes I guess it's important to keep the bench just to keep them away from other teams. I mean, at least I've done that before, where I've held on to guys longer than maybe I should because I'm afraid of someone else taking them at the time where maybe I'm going to be having to play against it.
And the thing is, you look at his team, like Marte's got injury history, Bregman's got injury history, Judge has an injury history, Michael Brantley,
Ronald Acuna,
you got guys,
Travis Darno. Like, you go down
so
the
you got
line,
guys
there is a lot of injury history here.
So it's not a bad idea to have a bench, because you got to assume that one of these guys is going to get banged up, in July or August.
Absolutely. I think my biggest concern before we go on to Frank's team is that there's not really much about the pitching that scares me personally. I think these guys can be solid and they'll get them innings and everything, but who besides Fried, there's really no second guy. I guess Castillo, but he's on Cincinnati. They're not really going to help him win.
I tell you what,
it is not.
Tony
Castillo is
Tony
not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Gonsolin has touche. Gonsolin's having a good start. The Catman has been good.
And not for nothing, Tanner Houck might be in line to become the next closer of Boston. So
that's fair.
His bullpen might be interesting.
Yeah.
Also look at Fire Eisen, who was closing for the Rays. Emilio Pagan is sitting on the NA spot for some reason. Oh, they activated him for the restricted list because they're not in Toronto anymore.
Yeah.
That's something you're going to see, guys. There's going to be players who are going to not go to Toronto because
I lost Kendall Graveman last week.
Yeah, I had it happen to Drew Steckenrider when I owned him.
Yep.
But it's going to happen, and I wonder what the biggest star player is going to be. So far, it's just been like relievers and shit.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's move over to Frank's team. Man, he took one on the chin. Ben, how's he doing?
He's doing good considering what I thought. I mean, you've had the most contact with him as of recently because you guys did Bigs Live together, so you'd be able to gauge his emotions more than I. But I think he is aware that time is still on his side for a little bit, and I mean, if I can say something good is that his pitching staff is still pretty deep. Like that's how he kind of built his team. And the offense still has some lethal guys, and maybe adding a Jeff McNeil now, and he was able to shed 2 pitchers for a hitter, like that works for him. And he was, I don't know. I felt like, oh no, sorry. He went a pitcher and a hitter. He gave up Pollock. I made a mistake. But Pollock was a guy that he couldn't find time for the lineup. He wanted to give Vaughn his everyday outfield spot. And now, like Jeff McNeil, that's another outfield spot for him. And he can jump into the infield sometimes for him when he feels like, okay, Jimenez might be struggling. Rojas might be struggling. He likes those new guys that he has. I don't know how long they'll hold on to him if they get cold. Knowing Frank, there's not enough name power behind a guy like a Rojas or a Jimenez for him to keep him if they start to struggle, in my opinion. His pitching staff is still deep. He's still got a 100 RBI guy in Riley. Will Smith is still one of the best catchers in the league. Luke Voigt was a nice pickup. He strikes out a bunch, but Marte led the league in stolen bases last year. It's a good guy to have. Matt Chapman, him and I have talked about it. he offered me him in a trade, and I said he's a nice guy, and I appreciate that you know that I need a third baseman, but if you know me, Chapman's not my kind of player. He strikes out too much for me. But he offered me, again, as usual, he offered me something very, very fair, but just it's not my type of player. But I don't know, guys. I don't know what you think, but I know he can take a little loss, but I don't know if he can take a big one again, because the schedule is still ugly ahead. He's still got some tough guys to deal with soon.
Yeah, that schedule looks like this, Mike Haber. It is James McCloskey this week, Christian Wood next week, Ben Nisman, and then Bobby Russo, and then our old friend Jason Ashby in a 5 weeks time.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a challenge. I don't know. I feel like I'm worried the wheels may be coming off a little bit, and I don't want to say that yet, but given the you can kind of gauge Frank's mood and emotions based on how much movement is happening on his team.
I agree.
And there's a lot more like trade offers now that are being thrown out there. There are a lot of moving parts all of a sudden.
We can pinpoint the day that it happened.
Yeah.
We can absolutely pinpoint the day it happened. It was the 3rd of June, the Friday. Let's take a look at what happened. Because,
3 days ago?
and the way I say this, the reason I say this is because on the 2nd, he made 3 moves. On the 3rd, he made 2. On the 4th, he made 2. And on the 5th, he made 5. It's like that thing, whatever happened that day, and it corresponds with a change in the score. It was 9-7. It was 10-8. It was 9-7. 15-4 on the 3rd. Just got punched in the mouth. What happened? 250, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, 3-3. This is a fine day. You would take this day offensively.
Maybe Chris Levy's team was just absurd that day.
Taking my time. We've got a 5.21 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 2 wins, 2 losses. This isn't a great day, but again, I'm not looking at this and going, "Oh, I'm going to throw up."
But it's Friday.
Oh my. 412 batting average, 487 on base, 7 runs, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 13 RBIs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. And on the pitching side, 16 and a third with a 1.10 and an 0.67. A win, 2 saves, a homer, a walk, 15 strikeouts, and 2 relief appearances.
Yikes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the day, guys.
Yeah.
That's the day.
That is, and I hope it doesn't continue down this path, because he started strong this year, but I do feel like he's starting to panic just a little bit. So I hope that he can kind of like regain his footing and find some new momentum moving forward here.
Yeah, just forget about what happened and find a way to grab a W. Just figure out a way to grab W. And if you can't grab a W, grab as many stats that you know you can. He knows this opponent, and you can make the argument he's owned this opponent. Okay, he almost knocked many times. He almost knocked him out of the playoffs in 2019 in week 22, and he beat him as the 8 seed against McCloskey as the 1 seed in a complete, with all due respect to McCloskey, what I found to be a fantasy schooling by a guy that was just making better decisions for 7 days and very much earned that first playoff win for his career. So this is a good time for him to be doing this. And all I can say is don't let the wheels come off like Mike is concerned about. I mean, do not let that happen, because you can't let an opponent's insane day wreck your season. That's going to happen to every one of the 16 of us. It really, and he's experienced that happening to him several times in the past. So change how you feel when these things happen. Don't go back to those same emotions that you had in previous years when you felt this way. Like don't make the results yield how you feel. So I hope he figures it out. I really do, because he's so passionate about this league. He loves this league so much, and it would be a heartbreaker for me if, when he started this good, for it to go down south this quickly.
Yeah, we're almost halfway there. We don't want to see this spin out of control and turn into a dumpster fire. Let's go ahead and move on here to the next matchup. Another blowout here this week, another double up. We're going to talk about Jimmy Dunlap taking down Mike Sherman 13-6. On Sunday, Mike Sherman was ahead by 2 strikeouts, and Jimmy tied him. They were tied in losses, and Jimmy took a loss. And Mike Sherman was down by 3 home runs given up by a pitcher. He ends up giving up at least 4. We'll take a look at it. Close categories. Jimmy wins by 3 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, a win, a home run given up by a pitcher, like I mentioned. Mike Sherman, 2 doubles, a loss that Jimmy took on Sunday, and 3 ticks whip. The ties are in triples and strikeouts by a batter. For Jimmy on his bench, Benjamin, 8 for 33.
Oh man. 247.
242. Good. 6 runs, 2 doubles would have tied the category, 5 RBIs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an error. His moves this week, he drops old friend of the program, Reynaldo Lopez, for Daniel Norris, 2 innings, a loss, a homer, a walk, a strikeout, a 1350, and a 150. He drops that guy for Alexis Diaz, brother of Ben's favorite closer, Edwin Diaz, an inning and a third, 2 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a relief appearance. He drops Trevor Gott for Will Crow, who picks him up a save off of the waiver wire, an inning, nothing earned, and a relief appearance. He drops David Price to bring back friend of the program, Reynaldo Lopez. He drops Noe Ramirez for Clark Schmidt, 2/3 of an inning, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 1350, a 6 whip, and a 1 relief appearance. He drops Schmidt for JT Brubaker, 4 innings, a loss, 3 homers, a walk, 3 strikeouts at 11.25 and a 2.25 at home against Arizona. Yikes. He drops friend of the program, Reynaldo Lopez, for Colin McHugh. He drops JT Brubaker for Marco Gonzalez, 7 innings, a loss, a homer, a walk, 5 strikeouts, a 386 and an 086 at Texas. But he dropped him before the game started. Okay, weird, because he dropped him for Steve Cishek, who didn't pitch. I don't know. He drops Alexis Diaz for Matt Bush, 2/3 of an inning, a homer, a 40-50, and a 6 whip, and a relief appearance. He drops Ken Giles. So we picked that guy up last week and stashed him on the IL, and now we're going to throw him back for Mike Soroka. That was your last move of the week. Okay. 11 used, all pitchers, 3 starters, including Soroka, and 8 relievers. The key players this week, his MVP is Brendan Rodgers. 333 with a 379, 8 runs, 2 doubles, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 2 errors. Ben, this is the guy that you dubbed Playboy Buddy Rogers last year.
I don't know much about him except for that he plays in Colorado, and when I heard him in spring training, he's a really articulate guy that was aware of how good he was compared to everyone else that he was playing around when he was younger. I kind of remember the interview and just being like, he was aware that he was going to be really good.
Well, I mean, he did have a really great day here in the doubleheader. 4 for 8 with 3 homers, 4 RBIs, 5 runs scored. He was just a monster in that doubleheader. His least valuable hitter, we're going to talk about Hunter Dozier, who did not have a hit. 250 on base percentage with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. The Cy Young, Luis Severino is a real thing, apparently. 7 innings, a win, a walk, 10 strikeouts, nothing earned, an 0.29. On the season, his ERA is south of 3. He's got a 1 whip and more than a strikeout an inning. He's real. The Cy Yuck, Paul Blackburn turned back into a pumpkin finally. He's still on the team. 10 2/3, 2 losses, 2 homers, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 675, and a 1.31. For Mr. Sherman on the bench, Benjamin, he went 11 for 39. I'm sorry, 38.
266.
Got fooled on this one. 289. 3 runs,
Yeah,
2
really
doubles,
bad.
2 homers, 7 RBIs, does flip the category, 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. I guess the most egregious one is on Sunday. We're going to see down here a 3-run bomb from Santiago Espinal. and
Right, I remember that.
Stanton wasn't in the lineup. Can we jiggle that? Yeah, we can totally.
Yeah,
Gonzalez
yeah.
in and Espinal in.
Yeah. And
Did
I'm really
it play?
yeah.
Yeah, the 3 RBIs
And-
would have tied the category.
And the one on
Michael.
Wednesday he could have gotten that one in and that would have flipped it because LeMahieu was rained out and he could have put Espinal in.
Yeah, here's LeMahieu rained out, and Espinal with a homer. That's 2 more
Yeah.
homers.
Two
Wouldn't
more.
have got him there, but yeah, that would have been the play.
Yeah.
His
Yep.
moves this week, he removed Ranger Suarez from his team for Ethan, not large, very small. 2 2/3, no decision, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 675 and a 3 whip in Chicago, and got optioned the next day. Well, that was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? He drops Andres Munoz for Devin Smelterwater, 6 2/3, a win, no walks, 4 strikeouts, a 270 and an 090 in Detroit. He also adds Trevor Williams, 5 innings, a win, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, nothing earned at home against Washington. Nice. He drops Trevor Williams for Tyrone Taylor, then drops Trevor Steffen and Tyrone Taylor to pick up Trevor Williams. 5 innings and no decision, a homer, 5 strikeouts, a 360 and a 120 in LA. All right. Jimmy is now.
How many
in
total
place.
ads?
5 with a hitter and 4 starters.
Oh, we're gonna do the MVP and everything, right?
Yep. His most valuable hitter is Francisco Lindor. Right? Am I crazy?
Go back to Sunday. Go back to the full week,
Sherman, not
Oh, we're talking
Sherman,
about
not
Sherman.
Jimmy.
That's why I'm like, okay. Yeah, Francisco Lindor, 364 with a 375, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 7 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. His least valuable hitter is going to where the hell? Jorge Mateo, 158 with a 158, a triple, and 9 strikeouts. I beg the question: would you want this guy in your lineup for the week? He gives you a triple and 9 strikeouts, and that's the only hit he has for the week.
No.
I think
I may
guess,
take him.
Yeah, I might.
Right? Like,
If I know I'm insured a triple for that week,
okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Tough question. Good question.
Yeah.
His Cy Young this week is Trevor Williams, who was on and off his team twice. 10 innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 180 and a 120. The Cy Yuck is Noah Syndergaard, 2 1/3, a loss, a homer, a walk, no strikeouts, a 1929 stock market crash of an ERA,
Oh,
and a
nice.
343 whip. You're welcome. That's
Oh,
History
the reference of the week.
reference.
the history rep.
very
Guys,
nice.
for the season, Noah Syndergaard, a 4.02 ERA. Look at that. Look at that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
All right.
Looking smart.
All right.
So, Jimmy jumps into second
Second.
with this win here, and is percentage points ahead of you, Ben Nisman. What did we see this week? I'll set the timer, and we'll be on our way.
I mean, it was just a no-brainer that Jimmy was going to win this matchup. It was just the question of by how much. And as you can see, I'm actually surprised by the amount of work Sherman actually put into this week. It is disappointing that, he wasn't totally on top of the lineup throughout the week. These are the things that we are aware of with Mike Sherman, with a James McCloskey. It seems to happen to Matt Losey now a little bit. But, that's why when Jimmy plays a Mike Sherman, he's got to win that matchup to get healthy, to avoid, and now he asked me a question. So we talked a little bit this week, and he said, is there a team more cursed than me in our league? And I'd have to think back a little bit to say, okay, well, Chris Levy hasn't made the playoffs since he joined, and it was since 2014. Josh had a really, really long stretch until he finally.
If Josh hadn't made the playoffs last year, I think that would be
it would have been him. But per capita, if you will, the fact that in 2019 and 2020, in those 2 years, from to miss by a stat in the final day in week 22, and then have the same exact record as Costas in last year and not get in, he's got a fair argument there, and especially for a guy that puts in the amount of work and commitment into the league that he does with his preparation on each opponent, the amount of love that he has for the sport and for fantasy baseball. A guy like that, you know that this year it's like critical that he gets at least into this playoff. And he's doing a beautiful job, man. He weathered some injuries. And how about the fact that he had, 7 saves this week?
Yeah,
Okay.
big number. Big number.
Yeah,
8.
big number.
8.
Almost as
8.
Okay, 8. Okay, so 8 saves, right? Because the one on Sunday, of course.
Yeah.
But how about the fact that in no human world would you ever expect a team for 7 days to step on home plate as many times as this gentleman did? What?
52 runs.
52 runs scored. It's the most in the league this season for 1 week, other than week 1.
Right. I think it might be.
By a
I would
lot.
I would be surprised if it's the most ever in a 7-day span.
Yeah.
What is it? Every single time a guy hit a single, he scored? Like,
He had 73
the-
hits and 52 runs.
what the fuck, man? And how many walks? How many walks?
20.
Jeez,
So you had
dude.
93 dudes on base and 52 of them scored.
That's almost, I mean, that's a pretty damn good percentage. He's got to be happy with how pissed he was about Semien and Teoscar and a couple of these guys that weren't clicking. Man, they all click at once. And I'm sorry, I'll give my co-host the floor, but I had a lot to say here, and Jimmy took care of business. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah,
get in
no,
there.
so 6 guys scored 6 runs or more. It's ridiculous. And like you said, this is what we've been waiting for, because you're right, Semien and Teoscar Hernandez, even Rizzo, like these guys have had, kind of slow starts. Here they come, and they're coming in bunches, and this is the kind of offense that can win a league, and it's happening right now, and he's vaulting up the standings. Look out.
Yeah, he's already up to second. He's 5 back of the leader. We've seen him go on runs like this before. But he's never really been able to close the deal. Mike Haber, you were particularly critical last year of the way he finished the season. Do you see him closing the deal this season with the roster as constructed?
Yeah, this is a scary team and a scary manager. I could see him solidifying a playoff spot within the next 4 or 5 weeks with some big victories.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And by the way, he still has Fernando Tatis. Like,
Yeah, he's waiting
he's
on
coming.
him.
Yeah,
It's coming.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big one.
Yep.
Question: Who has Madison Bumgarner? He gave up
The guy
4
I'm
over
playing.
5. He gave up 4 over 5 innings. And Hunter Green, 7 innings, 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. Nice for Jason. You know what was
Thank
not
you.
nice
Good
for
for you,
Jason?
man.
You know what was
Thank
not nice
you.
for Jason? This past
This
week's
coming
matchup when he
matchup.
lost
This was
11
not
to
a nice
7.
week for Jason.
Yeah, it
Good
was not a good
segue.
week.
Nice segue.
Thank you. I
Sure.
appreciate that. Jason takes an 11-7 loss to Josh Haber. On Sunday, Josh was up by 5 RBIs, and Jason flipped that. Congratulations. We'll cover that in a
Bravo.
moment.
Nice.
Close categories. Jason, you won by the triple. You won by those 2 RBIs. Josh wins by 2 doubles, 2 errors, 2 walks by a pitcher, 2 strikeouts, and 2 relief appearances. And what is that? 44 ticks on the ERA. They tied in home runs, wins, and saves. For Josh on his bench, Benjamin, it's 5 for 18.
Okay.
Okay.
302. I don't know.
78 with a double, an RBI, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. For his moves this week, he drops Spencer Torkelson he drops Sir Anthony Dominguez for Spencer Torkelson, who goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs, a double, an RBI, and a strikeout. Mike Haber, your thoughts?
That was one day. He's gone.
Okay.
I echo those thoughts.
That offense is so terrible right now that it's not like they have to even pitch him that well. They can just avoid Miguel Cabrera and pitch to everybody else. Basically, he's the only guy that's not batting under 200 in their lineup.
I want a team in the AL Central. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Because right now all those teams are not hitting. So
Yeah.
Pretty ugly.
True fact.
Pretty ugly.
Yeah.
He drops Harold Castro, another Tiger, for Michael King, an inning, a relief appearance, and a strikeout. He drops Brandon Crawford for Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario is a hell of a pickup, and he has not clicked yet, but I feel like it's coming. We're seeing a lot harder hits lately.
he was getting tired of Brandon Crawford. He told me that.
Okay. All right. 1 for 5 with a run scored the day he picked him up. Spencer Torkelson gets dropped for Jacob Junis. 6 innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a 150 and an 0.67. Well done. That was a good one.
Nice.
That was a really good one. He drops Chris Flexen for AJ Puck, an inning and a relief appearance and a strikeout. He drops Yadiel Hernandez for Matt Carpenter, who didn't play. He drops Matt Carpenter for Luis Sessa, who did not play. He dropped AJ Puck for Nick Senzel, who went 2 for 5 with a run, a stolen base, and a strikeout. His MVP this week, Trey Mancini. Iron Horse Charlie talked a lot about this guy last night. Go check it out on the live. 346 average, 433 on base, 9 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter is going to be Adam Frazier, 095 with an 091, 2 runs, a double, an RBI, and 2 strikeouts. The Cy Young, hey there, Mr. Adam Wainwright, 7 innings, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. Nothing earned in an 043. The Cy Yuck we're giving to Danny Jimenez. 2 relief appearances, an inning and 2/3 with a loss, 2 walks, a strikeout, a 2160, and a 240. Over on Jason's side, Ben Nisman, he went 9 for 29.
All right. 326. I don't know.
310. 4 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, a stolen base, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts with 2 errors. The 2 home runs are the only things at play here. And let's take a look at one of them here. One of them was on Wednesday the 1st. We're going to see if my computer will continue to load the screen. Here we go. Kyle Schwarber with a home run on the bench, and Josh Naylor here at first base. Jason, is this going to be a kind of a log jam here with these 2 guys and like your outfield?
It's kind of, I don't call it a log jam. It's more of like playing matchups, and I think that's what was happening here. I'm looking to see who Schwarber was going up against, but I don't think I liked the matchup.
Okay.
It was against Carlos Rodon. So I didn't like that matchup. So go figure.
On the 3rd was the other home run here. We'll take a look at that one momentarily. And what we've got is Eugenio Suarez on the bench. But this was a ridiculous day, and it is really hard to get him in. So I'm not going to hate on you too hard for that one, because everybody here is hitting 400 or better except for Jace Peterson, and Suarez doesn't have right field eligibility. So
yeah.
Your moves this week: you traded Bailey Ober for Josh Naylor. You dropped Danny Jansen for Jace Peterson, 1 for 3 with a homer, a run, an RBI, and a strikeout. You dropped Rougned Odor for Zach Plesac, 6 innings, a homer, 5 strikeouts, a 150, and an 083. You dropped Alex Lang for Tyler Rogers, 2 innings, a walk, a strikeout, a 1 whip, and a relief appearance. You dropped Ahmed Rosario for Kyle Hendricks, 5 innings, a walk, a 540, a 140 whip, and you benched him. Was it a stash for later?
Yeah, so that day I benched 3 guys. I benched 3 starters. I benched him and Whitlock and Green. And I was talking with Josh about this on the day before, and his pitching was not good, and mine was looking really good. I was liking my low whip. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a shot here in the middle of the week and bench these 3 guys. And it was a mixed bag. These 3 guys. You had Whitlock was great, but he didn't strike anybody out. Hunter Green was awful, but he struck out 8, and you had Hendricks kind of like in the middle.
So would you have been better off just playing all of them?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't dove into it, but I don't.
I think adding
it
Whitlock gets the ERA under. I think that might
Yeah.
get the ERA under.
But it's tough. Like anytime you have two starters going against each other, like it's scarier because if you bench one of them and start the other one,
Oh yeah,
like that's the worst.
Yeah.
So
that is the worst.
I don't blame you.
All right.
And honestly, and Hendricks was a waiver claim that I honestly didn't think I was going to get. So I was so surprised to wake up that morning to see that Hendricks was on my team. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You dropped Michael Harris II, or Michael Harris II, Electric Boogaloo, for Tony Santillan, an inning, a save, 2 strikeouts, a 9 ERA,
Nice.
a 3 WHIP, and a relief appearance. He might be the guy in Cincinnati. I don't know. You dropped Felix Bautista for Alex Faedo, 5 innings, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 360, and a 140. You dropped Griffin Metal Arms Jacks for Anderson Espinoza. Ben, where does Anderson Espinoza play?
Firstly, was the Jax thing a Mortal Kombat reference?
Yes, it was.
Nice. The Boston Cannons. It's a lacrosse team, Joe.
Oh, yeah, no.
No. Okay.
No.
All right.
Sorry.
So where is it? Where does he play?
Oh, where does he actually play? I have no idea.
Yeah.
The Cubs.
The
He
Cubs?
plays for the Cubs.
Okay.
Cubs?
thank you.
Okay.
I added him because they had a doubleheader and they had two scrub pitchers pitching. I figured he had to get into the game, into one of the games.
Yep.
Mm,
4 innings,
yeah.
a loss, a homer, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 450, a 125, and a relief appearance. You dropped Nick Senzel for Ramon Laureano, 2 for 4, a double, a strikeout, and a stolen base. You dropped Anderson Espinoza for Braxton Garrett, 3 1/3, a loss, a homer, a walk, 5 strikeouts, a 1080, and a 180. You dropped Tyler Rogers for Dylan Floro, 2 innings, a strikeout, and a relief appearance. You dropped Grayson Rodriguez for Max Meyer. Might not be seeing Grayson Rodriguez until 2023 now. He is out with a torn lat muscle. We know that takes quite a while to come back from.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Your MVP this week, Jason, we're gonna give it to Jace Peterson. 304 average, 333 on base, 3 runs, 2 doubles, 2 triples, a homer, 5 REIs, 2 steals, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter is Tybert Ruiz, 056, 261, with a run, a steal, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. The Cy Young is Framber Valdez, 15 innings, 2 wins, a homer, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 180, and an 080. And the Cy Young is Walker Buehler. That's 2 starts, 8 1/3, a loss, 4 homers, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, a 972, and a 180. We talked about this last week that, Jason, you've been in free fall for a while, and we are concerned. What happened here and what has happened over the last couple of weeks?
I honestly, I can't put my finger on it. I can't really blame it on injuries. I feel like my managing has been good, has been okay. It's just guys not performing. I mean, who would have thought that Walker Buehler would have sucked against the Pirates? Like, that's not supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah, and the Mets got to him too.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. After not hitting a lick off of Gossman or Tyler Anderson, figured Walker Buehler, sure, even if he gets up 2 runs against them, like, I'll be happy. And he was awful. You know,
was that the game you were at, or was that the next game?
No, that was the game before.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just been it's been weird. It's been a weird season, I feel like because guys are doing well. Like Jace Peterson, I picked him up. I did not expect triples and stolen bases from this guy. I expected him to just like he's got a whole bunch of eligibility, so I plug him in if a guy gets rained out or whatever. But like, you know, Patrick Wisdom was same thing. Like he gave me a good week, and I'm like, I was not expecting that from either of these guys. But yet, you know, Nolan Arenado has been shit in the bed for the last 4 weeks. Like,
Really?
He was finally good this week.
Yeah, this week he woke up, but it's just been weird. I don't know how else to describe it.
It might just be who you're running into bad luck with the opponents that you're playing. I mean, a 3.77 ERA is going to beat most teams because over half of us are going to be like making one bad decision and then compensating by going and getting innings, and then it's over. I mean, your opponent had a sub 3.5 ERA, hit 9 home runs. I always feel like, and I was having this conversation with Frank, and I said, Frank, how many home runs do you think is like a good number that you feel comfortable with? And he said 12. And I go, I thought that number was kind of big.
That is a big number.
Like,
that is a big number.
I would say it's more like just in the double digits, 10, like maybe even 9. You're like 9 shouldn't do it, So here's what I'll say, Jason. Number one, the fact that you flipped that RBI stat the way you did, 12-6 and 11-7 are very different. Like I thought that you had beaten me 11-7 until I woke up the next day and found out that the strikeouts happened and it was 12-6. So I was frustrated by that because I was like, okay, 11-7, but you handled that. Now I don't remember, I didn't look to see what the batting averages were going in, but you won this one kind of close. Was that one that you were like thinking that could go either way going into Sunday?
It really, the week, for me, the stat for the week really was the ERA, because the ERA and the WHIP, and like he ended up beating me in both. And there was a point in the week where it was early in the week, I admit, but like I just felt like he might have a problem here. We talked about like Danny Jimenez was awful, and he had a couple other guys that just blew on him. Acevedo, like the guys that were blown up on him. I'm like, okay, maybe my guys are okay on the pitching side. And it just Saturday just wrecked me.
Mm-hmm. Saturday was interesting. We're going to take a look at the whole weekend here. Mike Haber, let me know if this is a day that you would want to have happen to you. Let's talk about Saturday first, because it came first, because that's how it works. Jason hits a 159 with a 245, 10 strikeouts, 2 steals, 5 walks, 2 doubles, 5 runs, and an error. Not great.
That's ugly.
Not great. On top of that, he pitches to a 9.95 over 6 1/3 with 2 losses, 2 homers, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, 4 relief appearances, and a 2.21 WHIP. Gross.
Nothing.
And this is the thing: you can have days like this, but it's how does your opponent answer on that same day?
Yeah.
And there's also, by the way, and I completely agree with what you just said, Joe, but there actually is a difference between a day like this happening on Tuesday and on Saturday.
Oh, agree.
Because now you have less ads to work with. Now the score, now you're just in the mercy of Sunday having a good Sunday.
Yeah. So for Josh's response, 243, 275, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, a steal, 11 RBIs and 3 homers with 3 doubles and 6 strikeouts, and we get 17 shutout innings with a win, 6 walks, 21 strikeouts, an 0.82 WHIP, and 5 relief appearances. This was one of the best pitching days I've seen in a while. This was really good.
Yeah.
This was really good.
Mackenzie Gore just killed me.
Yeah. Then on Sunday, Jason, 250 with a 357 Magnum base percentage, 2 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 8 RBIs. 8 RBIs. 8 RBIs. Steal, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And on the pitching side, like fine. 19 in third, 2 wins, a loss, 4 homers, 4 walks, 22 strikeouts, a 4.19 and a 103 with 3 relief appearances.
Good enough to tie that category of wins. I mean, the walks that get a little out of hand, and Josh is able to take that one by 2. Josh is also able to take out strikeouts on pitchers by 2. I mean, saves were tied at 1. There were some really close categories, and Jason, you're in a fortunate position. I think all you got to do is hang around 500, and you're 13 under. That's not a lot. That's 2 weeks to make up, and then you're back at 500.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that I'm facing Matt this week, and I'm really need that to be a bounce back week for me, because it's been a rough couple of weeks
to have that guy.
Yeah, perfect.
The interesting thing on your schedule, however, is Matt Losi, then this guy, then Costas, and then Ari. So it's sort of an up and down mixed bag that I feel like you could really do some damage on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mike Haber, what do you have it on this matchup? Did you?
Well, I know Josh needed kind of a bounce back week too, because I feel like he's been, I don't know about a free fall, but he's been sliding. And I think he needed this type of win. And I know how much he respects Jason, and I know vice versa. So it was a fun matchup, especially to hear about it from both sides, to hear about it from my brother, to hear about it from Jason. So it was definitely fun, entertaining to watch, but I don't think that this killed either one of them. I don't think it killed Jason. I don't think it made Josh's season. I think they're both definitely still in it, way more than me. So I'm happy for them that they have a chance here. But yeah, no, hey, anytime that, two managers that I respect, like my brother and Jason Ashby, go head to head, it's going to be entertaining. Just like Joe and Ben was the apex of entertainment for me this week. So,
And I was saying this to both Mike and Josh all week, how much I truly enjoyed this matchup. Like, it was probably one of the most fun matchups I've had. Playing either Haber brothers is just such a thrill. So hats off to Josh. Looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
and with Not for Nothing, you made Josh work really hard, and put him in a position where, like Mike was saying, the slide was starting to happen. And it was like kind of a position that he needed to win going into a matchup against Jimmy.
Yeah. What I'm looking here for is the next few weeks on Josh's schedule. He's got Jimmy, and then he's following essentially Jason's schedule in Matt, myself, Costas, and Ari immediately after he takes on Jimmy this week. So this is another opportunity. He might be able to get a little bit healthy here as the weeks progress. We'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the next matchup here, boys, and let's talk about another 11-point blowout win this week for Ari Nisman. Good win for Ari on Sunday. Strikeouts were in McCloskey's favor by 2, and that was not great. Losses were tied, and Ari took 2 of those, and home runs, McCloskey led by 3 and ends up losing 2.
Wow.
Close categories this week. Ari wins by 2 doubles. He wins by a triple. He wins by 2 home runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs given up by a pitcher, as we mentioned. For James, he won by the win. He wins by 2 losses and a save that he got on Sunday. They did not tie in anything. For Ari on his bench, Benjamin, 11
No.
48.
Oh, so it's almost a perfect quarter, but not.
Nope.
247.
229.
Really? It goes down that? Okay, fine.
3 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 8 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Holy shit, Ari Nisman had a week where nothing on his bench plays.
Nice.
No way. I don't even believe you.
Good job.
Well, because he won every single offensive category.
Yes, that's why none of it counts.
Except errors. Right.
He made one move this week. He dropped Dylan Floro for Nick Plummer. His MVP this week, JT Realmuto. 300 average, 364 on base, 3 runs, 4 doubles, 5 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter
was Alonso was the honorable mention for Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like he was.
The errors and the strikeouts took that away from him.
Yeah, he did have 3 errors and 9 strikeouts this week, but 4 homers and 8 RBIs. So,
yeah,
8 RBIs wins the category. It would have been 21 otherwise.
That's insane. The least valuable hitter is Manuel Margot. He went 130 with a 259, 3 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error. The Cy Young this week. Who is George Kirby? And why am I saying his name? 12 innings, a win, 2 homers, a walk, 11 strikeouts, a 150 and an 083. You know who he is, Ben?
Yeah, he plays for the Seattle Mariners.
Nice.
Yes, I got one.
Yeah, 3.38 ERA across his first few starts here. He did have a start in Queens. Did not go terrific, but it was not horrible. His Cy Yuck this week is Tyler Duffy, an inning and 2/3, a homer, 2 walks, a strikeout, 16, 20, and a 3 whip with 2 relief appearances. I have a very, very serious question. Why are these 2 guys rostered? Brad Hand and Tyler Duffy?
Yeah, you know the answer to that.
He can't possibly believe that these guys will eventually get saved.
No. He doesn't think that.
Okay.
Okay.
For McCloskey on his bench, Benjamin, he goes 20 for 66.
Oh, come on, McCloskey.
Oh, that's a lot of bench stats.
264.
303. 9 runs that flips the category, 6 doubles that flips the category, 2 homers that flips the category, 9
Wow.
RBIs that flips that flips the category, a steal, 8 walks that flips the category, 11 strikeouts and 3 errors.
Do you see like anything that just stands out to you as like big like mistakes just kind of
Jason?
pop out at you?
Not really. Monday, he could have got, if you played it right, you get Gio Urshela and Garver in there, but
Narvaez is playing a doubleheader. You're playing him. And Urshela, I guess you're not playing him over any of these 3 guys or Nelson Cruz.
right. So it's like, how do you get him in? I mean, they had big days, so that would have been nice, but I don't fault him for not starting them. Nelson Cruz on Friday had a big day, but again,
It's also like, for me, part of the double-edged sword of owning 2 catchers. Like, I understand the strategy behind it, but if you have one catcher on your bench who goes off, that's a pretty crappy feeling, because you need that production from the catcher position.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I've been there last year with my Narvaez and Tucker Barnhart. I was saying, fuck that, and I'm just going to play both of them. I'll play both of them, and there's a small chance that one of them does something.
Yeah.
So
Nelson Cruz here with a homer and an RBI and 2 runs scored, and I guess the answer is Urshela, but we just saw him get burned. So what?
Yeah.
Tony Kemp instead? It's yeah. His moves this week. He adds Matt Barnes, an inning, a homer, a strikeout, a 27 ERA, and a 3 whip with a relief appearance. Way to start off the week. Well, Omar Narvaez gets dropped for Ramon Laureano, 2 for 5 with a strikeout. Cool. Drops Ramon Laureano next day for Kevin Kiermaier. Drops Kiermaier for Ryan Tepera, an inning, a strikeout, nothing earned in a relief appearance, and drops Matt Barnes. He picks up Tony Kemp, 0 for 3 with a strikeout, drops Tony Kemp, and picks up Chas McCormick. That's Chas. That's as in more than one cha. He's not Chaz. That's with a Z. He used 6 ads, 4 hitters, 2 relievers. His most valuable hitter is Ryan Mountcastle. And I'm still looking at Friday, so I need to go back over here to the matchup totals and tell you that Ryan Mountcastle went 292 with a 414, 7 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. His least valuable hitter is Gio Urshela, 167 with a 167 with a double and 3 strikeouts when he was in the lineup. But obviously he did other things on the bench, so that kind of sucks. The Cy Young is Joe Musgrove, 8 innings, a win, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 050 whip. The Cy Yuck is maybe Herman Marquez as a streamer. 5 innings, 3 homers, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 1080, and a 2 whip. I believe that came against, it was Miami. Yeah, it was that game. Yeah. That Weird. One of those homers is 496 feet to right field. And
what? Who did that?
Jesus Sanchez on my team against you. Yep. Let's start the clock and discuss these 2. Ari picking up a huge win. Ben,
who's going first this time? Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Ari
yeah,
better
my
than
brother.
How is he doing?
And firstly, I got to see him for the first time in 2.5 years on Sunday.
Wow,
which was just awesome. Just awesome to get to see him and his wife and kids, and we had a good time on the beach. And yeah, it was just great. And I asked him, what's going on? You got to finish the job here. And he goes, I know, I'm just I'm dealing with the issues of the injuries, and I was frustrated that he's kind of has to play shorthanded, and he has, and fortunately against the James McCloskey, it worked out. The weirdest thing that I saw in this matchup, when you talk about the ending, these are the kinds of scores that you usually see James McCloskey on the winning side of. I mean, do you guys remember 2019 when he was just bludgeoning teams to start the year? Yeah. And then again in 2020. So that ended like 16-5, and for him to not win an offensive category was just very, very surprising. Ari doing what he does, a lot of innings and a good ERA, 70 2/3, a 2.29 ERA, a sub-1 WHIP. Not sure what else you could ask for. 265 average, 365 on base. And James McCloskey did not even get to a 300 on base percentage. Like, he's got a good group of guys with Justin Turner and Freddie Freeman. There's another couple of really good hitters on his team that I know, but this is more, I think of this as more of a loss for McCloskey than a win for Ari, because this is a flash in the pan, I think, for Ari. Maybe this is a streak of 2 or 3 weeks or 5 out of 7, but Ari's going to play Ari's game, and that with this group, it's just not going to work for 21 weeks, not this year at least. And then McCloskey, you wonder, is this the beginning of the regression for McCloskey? I mean, he's got Frank this week, a very, very hungry player that's beaten him a lot. James has been solid this year. He's actually done a lot more work day to day than I anticipated. And I don't count him out yet, but this is the first time that I'm actually legitimately concerned about his season going forward.
It is interesting here that he's only 4 games under 500. He's sitting in 10th. This is Ari's first win on the season. And that's the thing that sticks out to me, especially when it's a guy that you need to beat when he's on your team. He has 2 ties with 2 other managers, and everything else was a loss until this dump trucking. Mike Habert, this much on McCloskey's bench, however, there's 20 for 66, the 9 runs, the 6 doubles, the 2 homers, the 9 RBIs. Is this going to be a problem going forward for him? Do you see log jams here where this is going to be an issue?
I experienced this a bit last year with having a player that you're compelled to start every day with that utility tag. And Nelson Cruz is going to cause this logjam. There's no reason to have 3 third basemen on this team. I pick one, like Justin Turner, go with it. Alec Baum, Gio Urshela, maybe these are pieces that you can actually build a bit more on the pitching side. Like, I don't know if you need this deep a bench. Like, I understand having the backups there, but like, is it necessary to always have 2 catchers? Is it necessary to, I don't know. Maybe it's just my strategy is different, and I get that. Yeah. But I do think that like some of these bench pieces could have value and could bring back something that could solidify a bigger need for him.
Yes, and we're talking about 2 managers really that are kind of playing that same game, right? They just like to have a lot of extra hitters and play the matchups. And hey, this guy's hitting well, so I got to pick him up. But little do you know that now you may have created more problems for yourself. That may be what's happening here.
Yeah.
Jason, you did the research on this one. Is there anything we're missing here?
Yeah, I mean, just again, the scores throughout the week was close. It was 10-9, 11-9, 11-9, and then 13-6. And all of a sudden it's 14-6, 15-5, 15-5. So like, I feel like there should have been an opportunity somewhere midweek where James maybe could have done something to at least, mitigate a loss here. He only used 6 ads. I don't know if there's anything else that he was thinking of doing, but when Ari is not going to make any moves, he made 1 for the Mets 4th outfielder. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to go find somebody that's going to help you, at least pick up some stats here. It just didn't really happen.
No, there was not a lot of there was some aggression, but there wasn't enough aggressiveness for who you're playing against. Got to know that manager. And James McCloskey has been like, he joined us in 2014. Like he's got to know by now Ari's game, and he really didn't capitalize on that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Ari mentioned to you his IL and his the problem with his injuries, especially with Andrew Heaney like sitting in his starting lineup every day.
Well, the other thing is like he's getting healthy now. All of a sudden, Tyler O'Neill's on the rehab. Strasburg, so is Strasburg. Lance Lynn, they're all coming back.
Yeah, he's actually going to have to subtract this bench. Maybe Wilmer Flores will leave the team, or Nick Plum.
But I just don't understand. Like he is making moves every day. He's not adding players, but he's adjusting his lineup every day. Then
he does.
What's Andrew Heaney doing?
Because he doesn't. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it because my guess is that he knows he doesn't give a shit about relief appearances. So like, it's not like it
extra IL spots to him. He just like throws dudes who are RP eligible on the IL in those.
It makes zero sense, and I'm sure he knows that we're talking about it, on the show.
If I don't know, Ari, you're the white whale I want on the show, please.
Oh God, that would be. I mean, I would pay to have him on the show.
Both of brothers,
Right.
The
brothers Nisman and the brothers Hater.
That would be great.
How would the rest of the league feel? And this is the most unrealistic thing ever. If the show began with Josh Haber and Ari Nisman, just those two, no Joe, no Mike. What the hell who are these guys?
I don't know. It may be funny if Joe and Jason are there as well.
Yeah, and we have Ari and Josh instead.
And we have Ari and Josh. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, instead of me and Mike.
Yeah.
Yes.
That could work too. That could definitely work.
That would be the show of the century.
That would be terrific. I have told Josh Haber this season more than once that he is one of the white whales, that Ari is the other one, and I feel like Captain Ahab. I am trying very, very hard to make it happen, but we shall.
Hey, we got Sherman in the draft. We did. That was
one of them.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup here, boys. I'm calling this one my matchup of the week. It is a 9-8 finish here for Matt Losi getting win number 2. This one over Bobby Russo. On Sunday, Bobby had a 2-run lead, and Matt took that away. Errors were tied, and Matt unfortunately took the error. Bobby was 9 ticks on the on-base percentage ahead. He loses it by 3. And walks, Bobby had a 2-walk lead, and that happened. So, close categories. Matt wins by those 2 runs. He wins by the 1 RBI. He wins by 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3 ticks on the on-base percentage, and 2 relief appearances. Bobby wins by 2 home runs, and they tied in doubles, triples, wins, walks by a pitcher. For Matt on his bench, Benjamin, 1 for 7.
Oh, man. I don't know what 1 for 7 is. 169?
142. 143, I guess, because we would round up. Right. He had 3 strikeouts, nothing plays. Like, that was a great week. Great week on the bench. Good job. Yep. His moves this week, he drops the plural of Cha for Chas McCormick for David Peralta. He drops Scott Sam Seth Efros. Seth Efros. Sam Efros.
I didn't know his first name.
Yeah. Steve.
That's a weird name. That's almost as weird as Silseth. Is that how you pronounce that guy's name?
That is how you pronounce that name. He dropped that guy for Danny Santana, and then dropped Tyler Naquin for Darren Ruff. 3 ads, 2 hitters, and a relief pitcher rather. Darren Ruff. Everybody's trying to get my little sprinkles on there. Now he's in the minors, so that's fun. That sucks. Oh no, he's on bereavement because his father passed away. That sucks. Condolences. Condolences. Matt's MVP this week is Brandon Mike Haber Drury. Brandon Drury. Can you guys say this dude's last name without sounding intoxicated?
Brandon Drury.
Brandon D.
There you go. That's the
That's
guy.
it.
That's it. He goes
That's it.
9 for 25. That's a 360 average, 385 on base with 8 big runs, a homer, an RBI, a steal, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter, Shohei Ohtani. Mike Haber, you know what weeks like this are like.
Yeah.
182 average with 308 on base, 2 runs, 2 doubles, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts.
Cool.
Cy
He couldn't
Young?
do that last week.
Right. The Cy Young this week. Hey, guess what? Jose Barrios had a good start. 7 innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts with a 2.57 and an 0.71.
Wow.
The Cy Yuck is a guy that was the Cy Young a couple of weeks ago. Michael Kopech, 3 innings, a loss, 2 homers, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 15 and a 3.33. On Bobby's side, he went Benjamin 19 for 60.
Oh man, that's as good as you can get. 326.
317.
Nice.
11 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, a steal, 8 walks, 14 strikeouts, and 2 relief appearances. Runs, doubles, RBIs, walks, relief appearances, all would have either been tied or flipped. That's ugly. That's very, very.
Yeah.
Mike Haber, you did the research on this one. What's the most egregious one here?
Oh man, there's some big ones. He was struggling with getting Escobar in the lineup. Escobar hit a home run.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, Cabrian
He-
Hayes went, I think, 3 for 5 one game, maybe on Monday, and stole a base, and that was on the bench.
I'll say I own Escobar in another league, and let me just say he is maddening to own because he is so good, but he's also been so bad.
Yeah,
I don't blame Bobby for benching him because like but then as soon as you do, he goes off. Like that's how his season's been.
and even like Kevin Biggio, like that's a guy that, I probably wouldn't roster him myself, but he was on Bobby's bench and hit a home run, and one of those days, maybe I lied.
No, he had some RBIs
Oh,
and
no.
a bunch of doubles, though.
Yeah, a bunch of RBIs and doubles. Yeah.
Bobby's moves this week. He dropped Chris Archer and Kevin Biggio for friend of the program, Reynaldo Lopez. His MVP this week, as I have to go back to the matchup totals, his MVP this week is going to be Wilson Contreras, 367 with a 500, 8 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, a steal, 6 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
His least valuable hitter is Christian Yelich, 091 with a 200 on base.
Ooh.
2 runs, a triple, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Would you want this line in your lineup?
Not from Yelich, I don't think.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I can respect that. The Cy Young is Sandy Alcantara, 7 innings, a win, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.71. The Cy Yuck is Jordan Lyles, 5 innings, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 7.20 and a 2.20. He pitched really well this week. He pitched to the best ERA of the week at 2.11.
Wow.
Guys, Bobby just keeps being this fiddle in the middle at right around 500. We have seen this year over year over year, but this is a bad loss. This is a very, very bad loss.
For a lot of reasons, Joe. I mean, it seemed like the work could have been much more prevalent. I mean, when you go through those ads that you said, I mean, it didn't sound like you did enough. It just did not sound. Not when you're talking about a guy as weakened right now as Matt, and for the amount of experience Bobby has, who's been in this league since 2018. That one surprised me. But that's the bigs. If you're not going to really go forward with it, then this might happen. It was almost 10-7. Something happened where it made it 9-8, but like it was almost worse, and he was able to flip a category. So I'll give him credit for that because he might have saved himself. But this isn't the Bobby Russo offense that we saw last year. It's not that kind of team, you know what I mean, that can carry him when he makes mistakes. This was kind of a must win. Doesn't mean that his season's over. I mean, he only lost by 1, but like this was an opportunity to gain some ground. The schedule gets harder now, not easier for him. So I got to give credit where it's due with Matt Losi getting a win. It's his second win. He beat Ari. Now he's got 2 under his belt. So congratulations to him because he did do some work this week a little bit and it paid off. So give him kudos where it's due. But again, it's more about the loss from Bobby right now. That wasn't pretty. And I hope that at least he's a little annoyed by it, because that's where he gains the fire. He's got Joe Schubert right now, and this is two teams that you wonder where their offense, like what directions are they going in, and very, very, very critical week for Bobby to not get blown out here. What do you guys think?
Yeah. And again, I know some people are not, as keen about making moves, but he made one move, and it was just to get Ronaldo Lopez. Like, did he even get in the game? Like, again, when you're down, and I don't know how the week was, if he was down all week, but I would try to make a move somewhere in the week to at least do something to help, spark your lineup. It just didn't happen.
The thing is, he also left 2 relief appearances on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how Bobby, usually he's good with the bullpen. For him to lose that category, and I realize 20 is a lot. That's a big number. 20 is a good number from Matt there, but for over 7 days. But yeah, if Bobby just makes more ads during the week, he wins that category. He turns this into a win in his direction.
Yeah.
For that question. Mike Haber, anything else to add? You were the one who did this research.
Yeah, no, the 2 relief appearances on the bench really stuck out to me. You said it before that this was more about the loss for Bobby than it is about the win for Matt. And it's just sad seeing how much was on the bench. Like, this could have been like an 11-6 victory for Bobby. Like, he could have put that, if he made little tweaks here and there.
Yeah,
he's taking 4 offensive categories and flipping relief appearances. So it's
no doubt. I mean, a double was there. Runs had to be gettable. RBIs, we know where it was. To lose by 3 strikeouts on the batting side, right? I mean, he's fortunate that Matt Losey made an error on Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah. Very, very. For Bobby going forward, his schedule looks like the following. He does have me right now, and then it's Costas, Ari, Frank, and Lebo.
Tough. That's a tough 5 right there, Yeah.
And for Matt, at this point, it's about getting experience and seeing how well you can finish. He gets Jason Ashby this week, then Josh Haber, Jimmy Dunlap, and myself.
Guys, goodbye.
Yeah.
That stretch could end him. That stretch could end his season.
Yeah.
Like, if it hasn't already.
Yes.
And you know what? We've talked about guys going on runs. I don't foresee it being a huge run, but Matt Losey's team is going to get hot at some point. He's going to knock off a couple of guys. That's just the law of baseball. So before we go saying this guy's just a complete pushover, just baseball in general is going to make these things happen.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to the final matchup of the week. Mike Haber, this one is your matchup, sir. And you took another dump truck in here from Brian Lebo, 12-6. Lebo gets the win. On Sunday, Mike, you had a 2-double lead, and Lebo tied that.
Yeah.
You had a 1-triple lead, and Brian tied that. You had an RBI. No, Brian had a 1 RBI lead, and you took care of that.
Yeah, nice.
You had a 1-win lead, and Brian took that, and we'll talk about that one. I know that's what you want to talk about here. You had a 1-loss lead, and that happened. And the ERA was 40 ticks in your favor, sir. You lose it by 9. Close categories.
What about the like the walks and strikeouts on the pitching side, which also seemed pretty close? Was Brian holding those categories going in?
Yeah.
Okay.
The close categories this week, Mike, you won by 2 RBIs and 2 saves. For Brian, he won by 3 errors, a loss, 2 walks by a pitcher, 6 strikeouts, 9 ticks on the ERA. They tied in doubles, triples, and wins. For Lebo on his bench, Benjamin. So cold Steve Austin says it's a 3 for 16.
So that's actually a good job there. 186.
188. Almost nailed that one.
Nice.
He does have a double, an RBI, a walk, and 5 strikeouts on the bench. It's literally the only thing that we can say about the offensive side of the ball for him that we can pick at. Here it is. It's CJ Cron in the doubleheader. Goes 2 for 7 with an RBI, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. That doesn't get the double in. The double was on Sunday. We can't even play that because CJ Cron didn't play. Now, I understand the thought process of like fill your utility spot with a guy on your roster. I don't know.
Yeah.
His moves this week. He drops Chris Martin for Nick Martinez. 6 innings, a loss, a homer, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 450 and a 183. He drops Joey Gallo for Steven Wilson. Ben, Wilson or Phillips?
Oh, no, it's the other one. Definitely the third one. Is that the blonde?
I don't know. Steven Wilson 0 for 2, or I'm sorry, 2/3 of an inning, a homer, 2 walks, a 40-50 ERA, and a 750 whip for the relief appearance. That's a great way to start the week. He also dropped Andrew Kisner for Brent Suter, an inning, a walk, a 1 whip, and a relief appearance. He drops Nick Martinez for Cody Whitley, 2/3 of an inning, a homer, 2 walks, 1350, a 6 whip, and a relief appearance. He drops Brent Suter for Richard Blyer, 2/3 of an inning, a 27 ERA, and a 450 whip with a relief appearance. He drops Cody Whitley for Scott Efros. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
2 innings, 2 strikeouts, an 050 whip, and a relief appearance. He drops Richard Blyer for Andrew Wantz, as in Andrew Wantz with a Z, because he's from the 2000s Attitude Era of professional wrestling. 2 1/3, a strikeout, an 043 whip, and a relief appearance. He added Raimel Tapia, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. He drops Raimel Tapia for Lane Thomas, 2 for 4 with a run, a walk, and a strikeout. That's better.
Good day.
He
Good day.
drops he drops Scott Efros for Brent Suter again, who did not appear in the game. His MVP this week is Yordan Alvarez.
No
who
shit.
just crushed it this week. 565 with a 630, 8 runs, a double, a triple, 4 homers, 8 RBIs, 2 walks, and only 1 strikeout.
And
And
contract extension.
560 batting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was
I
on
mean,
base. He was on base every single time he came to the plate.
When, yeah, he's well over half. What was the on base again?
630.
Yeah, that's basically every single time.
Gross.
Wow. I mean, when do they rank player of the week? Because that sounds like
He was the American League Player of the Week this week.
He also got the triple on Sunday.
Yeah.
Unreal. I mean, when I looked at that and I saw that happened, I was like, Jesus, Mike, can't you catch a break?
Right?
Nope.
Nope.
The only break that he got was from Dalton Varsho, 056 with a 182, 3 runs, an RBI, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The Cy Young is Martin Perez.
Ugh.
No way.
13
Really?
innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 138, and an 092. Yeah. He had 2 starts this week against at home against Tampa and at home against Seattle. And yeah, 13 innings.
Wow.
Dude, Martin Perez to me has always been like Chichi Gonzalez. Like you could,
Yeah.
like is he even like in the league? Like, okay, but he gets innings and he stayed healthy now.
Right.
So wow, I don't know if this is how old is he?
Let's see. He was born 1991. So
Oh, okay. It was like 29, 30?
31.
31.
Yeah. 31. The Cy Yuck is Marcus Stroman, 4 innings, a loss, 3 homers, a walk, 7 strikeouts, but a 20-25 and a 275. For Mr. Haber on his bench, Benjamin, this is an easy one.
Thank God.
1 for 20.
Woo.
How is that easy? Okay. Oh, okay. I know it. 0.50.
Yes, an 050 with 2 runs, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts, none of it played. The moves this week, you traded away Josh Naylor and got Bailey Ober, who went 6 innings for a loss, 4 strikeouts, a 750 and a 150. You dropped Marco Gonzalez for Luis Guillorme. I almost said Luis Gonzalez. 2 for 4, 3 runs, an RBI, and a walk. Well done. Thank you for watching our team and knowing that our backup middle infielder is having a hot streak. Dropped Dylan Bundy for Edward Cabrera, and ballsy fucking move of the week, Mike Haver.
Yeah.
6 innings, a win, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, nothing earned in 083 in Colorado during the
Nice.
doubleheader. Very,
Yep.
very good. You added
Thank you.
Tyler Kinley, an inning, a strikeout, 2 whip, and a relief appearance. Dropped David Peterson. Dropped Cole Sulser for Alex Lang, an inning, a win, 2 walks, a strikeout, a 2 whip, and a relief appearance. You added Riley Green, who's now going to be the NA player. Dropped Alex Lang for Luis Garcia, who did not pitch. You dropped Andrew McCutcheon for Rich Hill, 6 innings. Sorry, I'm sorry. I did not pronounce his name correctly.
No, you did not.
That would be
I don't know who that is.
yeah. Let's see. Rich Hill, Penis Peak. What are we going with next?
Cock Mound.
That'll work. Cock Mound.
No.
All right. 6 innings, a win, 5 strikeouts, a 150 and an 050. And then dropped Bailey Ober, who you traded for at the beginning of the week, for Ryan Feltner, 3 innings, a loss, a homer, a walk, 3 strikeouts, an 18 and a 267. That'll be a question for us here. Key players this week. We love us some Matt Olson this week, don't we, Mike Haver?
Yeah, he finally showed up.
290 with a 353, 2 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts with an error. The least valuable hitter is this dude named Mike Trout.
Yeah, let's talk about this. He
Look at
went
this offer.
0 for 26, which is the longest in his career, and he did it this week.
Yeah. He did not get a hit. He scored 1 run. He walked twice and struck out 8 times. That's a 125 on base percentage.
Send him down to the minors.
Yeah.
You should cut him. You should definitely drop him.
Yeah, I will.
All right. The Cy Young this week is Aaron Ashby. 6 innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 150 and a 117. That dude's real. And I shared on my Facebook a clip of Aaron Ashby throwing this ridiculous left-handed 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It comes out of his left hand and goes that way. Up and away to Luke Voigt out of the strike zone that he swings at. It's one of the filthiest pitches I've ever seen. I'll send it to you in text message after we're done. The Cy Young is Ryan Feltner, 3 innings, a loss, a homer, a walk, 3 strikeouts, an 18 ERA, and a 2.67 WHIP. Yeah, not good. Guys, let's start the clock. Mike Haver. Let's start with the trade. Josh Naylor for Bailey Ober, and then dropping Bailey Ober at week's end. Was that planned?
No, it was not planned. Bailey Ober was, I guess, supposed to be like a 4 or 5 back end rotation guy for me. But he got hurt, and he's on the IL now, I believe. And he just wasn't pitching the way that I've seen him pitch in the past. Like he was giving up runs to the Royals. He was giving up runs to, who did he play this week? The Tigers. He couldn't even hold them down. Like this is 2 teams that he should have dominated, that he couldn't find his way out of like an inning without giving up runs or walks or hits. And I just didn't like what I saw. Josh Naylor for me was excess. I'm glad that Jason can get use out of him. And I was hoping Bailey Ober would shape up to be something more than he was, but
at least you
I'm
figured
okay with
it out early and got rid of him as soon as you could.
Yeah.
Let's start here with the win for Brian Levo after that point and give credit where it's due. Anytime you can double up Mike Haber, we know that this is a big fat win. And Ben, you say it often, this is an opportunity to squash the bug that he did.
He didn't quite do it. I mean, I would say a double up is nice, but we had 3 tied categories that could have gone to Brian, could have gone to Mike also. So no, Mike is not done yet by a long shot. Not with his experience, his prowess. His team is not dog duty. At least I don't think so. So I feel like it's a matter of time. The streak is coming. It's overdue to happen. Very impressed with Brian Lebo so far. I feel like he's got to be happy with the fact that he's 3 over 500 after 8 weeks. You know, I feel like that's not something we typically see with him. It's, you know, obviously we only have one full season to go off of, but it had a climb basically mid-season on. This is a better start for him. He's given himself some breathing room to take a couple of losses, which inevitably will happen when he gets through a tough part of the schedule. The team doesn't start producing like it has been. On the other side, Mike, you had a tough Sunday here. Life got in the way, as it has for all of us. And I don't know. I feel like you might be in the position where it's coming up to that point where must wins are going to start to fall on you, where you just need to start racking them up.
Yeah. Can we talk about Sunday for a second? Because that was insane.
Talk about it.
Let me show the Sunday. So
first of all,
Sunday,
like not even mentioning like Yordan Alvarez's triple, like that in itself was hard to see.
Brian offensively 281 with a 361, 7 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, triple, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And on the pitching side, he goes 17 innings, 2 wins, 3 homers, 5 walks, 16 strikeouts, a 2.65 and a 1.29 with 2 relief appearances. Mike, your offense did plenty, just not quite enough. What are we looking at here? 250, a 368, 8 runs, a double, a homer, 6 RBIs, a steal, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, and an error. Is there anything here that we need to point out?
Well, you didn't mention the pitching. Let's hear it. Can you bring down the pitching?
No.
13 2/3, a win, 2 losses, a home run, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 4.61 and a 1.10 with 4 relief appearances.
So this was
two
kind
losses.
of 2 losses. Yeah.
This was kind of the perfect storm of like things that could have gone wrong that did. So the first thing I want to point out is Gregory Soto taking the loss with that ghost runner. And
yeah,
it was not an earned run. It was against the Yankees. He came into a tie game, runner on second. Like, it's gonna happen. They left their best pitcher in there to try to
finish it. Yeah, you're gonna win or lose the game with Soto.
Yeah. So I don't fault him for that. Rich Hill gave me a great start in Oakland, but I want to mention Genesis Cabrera. That's what this is all about. This was a 10-8 matchup until Genesis Cabrera, until this game. This is a middle reliever who has not thrown more than an inning and a third or an inning and 2/3 all season. This guy, I'm winning in ERA. I'm winning in wins. This guy comes in to a tie game in the
night game.
Yeah, the night game. The last game of the matchup. Comes in the 7th inning, something like that, 8th inning.
8th inning.
Throws 4 innings. 4 innings. This Genesis Cabrera, 5 strikeouts, gets the win, flips ERA, ties me and wins. It was all this night game too. And I had Christopher Morel. I had Chris Morel, who was another guy that could have been MVP for me this week. And with doubles and triples tied, I was like, Chris Morel, you're one of the fastest guys in the league now. You've been hitting doubles for me all week. You can hit a double. Maybe you can get a triple, but like, you didn't really do anything.
Nope,
JD Martinez didn't play. Like, it was all the things that could have gone wrong just went wrong. And then Genesis Cabrera on top of it throws 4 innings.
I know Brian Lebo texted me after that. He said Genesis Cabrera with a little love for my matchup and just picked him over the top to double this up. Such a tough night game, man.
And after, so it was like I was up significantly because Genesis Cabrera gave up a run in the 8th inning. So the ERA at that point I was like, I'm good. This is fine. All right, comes in for a 2nd inning of work.
Still
Okay.
not bad. Yeah.
All right, I'm still up. Comes
Maybe a
in for the-
strikeout or two.
Yeah. Comes in for the third inning of work. Suddenly ERA is separated by 2 ticks. It's 4.4.
And you're
4.46.
confused. Yeah, and you're confused at this point why he's towed the rubber for the third straight inning.
For his third straight inning. But at the end of the inning, it's 4.46 to 4.44. I'm still up by 2 ticks. And I'm like, this is okay. There's no way in hell this guy's coming back out. Comes back
Lo and
out.
behold.
And then I knew as soon as he came out for the 4th inning and shut them down, I knew the Cardinals were going to score in the top half of that inning or the bottom, whatever it was. I just knew it was gonna happen.
Top.
And that was it. Put it over the top. But that was a really, really upsetting way to lose a couple categories, like at the very, very end of the week.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they went up 2 runs in the 11th and then sent Cabrera back out there to finish the inning, because you've got Helsley and Gallegos chilling out in the bullpen waiting for this opportunity.
Well, I know Helsley had just pitched like 2 2/3 the day before or something like that, so he wasn't available.
Gallegos pitched 2 innings the day before also, but
There you go.
you've got Wickren.
Packy Norton was out there though. They could have had Packy Norton. He hadn't pitched for over a week. He would have been. And by the way, he didn't come in that game. But
No. And Genesis Cabrera is not going to pitch again the rest of this week.
No.
Like this
if he does,
week.
it's gonna be somewhere toward Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Like you're not gonna
right, or unless it's like you have 2 outs in the 6th, and you just need him to get that last out of the inning, and the 3 batter rule doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Joe just saw something.
We're
eyes
up
just
3-0, boys. It's a 3-run first inning for the New York Metropolitans. It's a JD Davis bases loaded walk, and then a 2-run Eduardo Escobar single.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
3-0.
That's Snells.
Before Carlos Carrasco even toes the rubber.
Beautiful.
Guys, let's move on, and it is that time of the week. Let's talk about our matchup of the week. I am calling it Bobby versus Matt Losi. Ben Nisman, what is your matchup of the week?
Am I not allowed to pick our matchup?
I think you can pick our matchup.
Yeah. I'm picking our matchup.
Okay. I love it.
I mean, it was back. It went in a different direction. I mean, is it kind of lame to pick mine? All right. So if I pick another one,
Jason Ashby, what's your matchup of the week?
I mean, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Come on. What more can you say?
I must be the Bret Hart this week and for the last 4 matchups, I guess.
You are a sharpshooter.
Thank you. I like that. Mike Haber.
He took some sweet chin music.
I did.
There you go.
I certainly did. Mike Haber, what is your matchup of the week, sir?
Just to be a different color crayon in the box, I'm going to go with Josh versus Jason, because that was captivating and always a fascinating watch.
That's a fun
I did
one.
love it. I did love it.
Ben, did you choose one that's not ours?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on. Managers of the week, gentlemen, and I want to preface this first by saying that I think we need somebody's set from last week.
Oh boy.
We need.
All right.
Yeah, we need somebody's number 3 from last.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Josh Haber as my number 3.
Okay.
I am going with Joe Schubert as my number 2.
Thank you.
And number 1, Jimmy Dunlap over Jason Ashby, 16-4. That's my number 1.
All right. That gives Jimmy another 3 points, gives me 2 points, and Josh 1. Down 3. All right. And now for this week. Ben, let's start with your number 3 here.
Oh, this was tough, because there's one guy that's going to get excluded here, and I feel terribly, but it's Josh Haber again. To compete day to day with a great manager like Jason Ashby and tolerate a better average, a better on base, a really good ERA, a really solid WHIP, and he played against it really, really well. Jason, one of my favorite managers in this league to watch. Josh is just, it's coming to the point, and I texted Josh about this. It's no longer at this point a surprise when I see you in the win column. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to expect it. I consider that a good thing. I'm really, 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 really proud of him.
Good job, Josh. Mike, let's hear your number 3.
I am gonna give my number 3 to Ben this week. Taking down Joe Schubert, 12-5 victory, very impressive. If there weren't some other major blowouts that were present in the league this week as well, you would be a little bit higher up, but a 12-5 more than double up over Joe Schubert is always something to write home about, and you should be proud.
Thank you. Considering I didn't play with a third baseman, which confused the shit out of him, and that I believe I was the score at most 15-3 in Joe's favor on Wednesday, or did it kind of change by Wednesday? I think it was 15-3 on Wednesday at one point.
Yes, it definitely was.
Was that the strategy? Like, I'm not gonna play a third baseman to just confuse the crap out of him.
No, the confuse the crap out of him is only something I found out on this show. You know, and he was like, "Why didn't this happen?" But no, it was that I couldn't worry about that. I had to get starting pitchers.
Yeah. All right.
Jason, let's hear your number 3 manager of the week.
Yeah, for all the same reasons, it's the Heartbreak Kid, Ben Nisman. Again, this is where it comes to see that this is the main event, and you did it. You took it.
Thank you.
Good job to you.
My hat's off to you, Ben, but I'm not naming you as manager of the week because you beat me, and goddamn it, I'm not having somebody.
That's the reason.
Ouch.
Let me tell you. I just wanted to hold on, Joe. I just want to show you something now that you said that.
Okay.
Can everyone see this?
Let's take a look.
I look very clear. I made sure I got the picture of that for you.
Confetti.
You see that?
So cute.
Can you see what it says behind the confetti? No, wait. If you can't see it, I made sure I took another picture. It says the champ is here. This is actually the first time I've actually seen this. They usually say congratulations, so you win. This one says the champ's here. You know what else I see? Oh, look what it says. Look what's next to it, Joe. It's a little crown.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little crown.
I got a little king's crown.
You identify with a crown, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
All right,
let's get back to the show.
It only took 2 hours into the show for Ben to gloat, but we made it.
We made it. It was good. It was gonna happen, guys.
Oh, I was wondering when it was gonna happen. Well worth it. Brian Lebo will be my number 3 this week. Brian Lebo will be my number 3 this week. He gets a double up victory over Mike Haber. You certainly can't take anything away from him there. And keeping himself in the chase pack at the top with Costas. Let's move on to number 2s. Ben, we'll start with you, number 2.
So the guy that's my just miss, unfortunately, is Brian Lebo, and I feel really badly excluding him because he beat a really good manager and he did very well in that. But man, Frank is such a strong freaking manager that to beat him 14-3, Chris Levy is impressing the shit out of me this year. He is really, really making smooth decisions through each week. There's something different about him than in previous years where he might not go for it. He'll probably get too cute and bench a starter early when he's like, I felt like I overthink it. The more he has experience in this league, the better he gets. This is a perfect example of a guy that's really developing now that he's 28 years old, I believe, and he joined this league when he was like 19, 20, 21 maybe at the most. But I mean, it's so evident how much smarter and how much better he is getting at the game. And he's playing with confidence and he's playing with breathing room now. Like, he doesn't even have to go crazy. The way Mike Haber was the king of knowing that, when you have a nice big league, you can take more chances and make some mistakes, and it's not necessarily going to burn you. Chris Levy's almost at that point now that he can, try and take a little bit more risks and not worry about the repercussions potentially.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the repercussions reference there, Benjamin. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mike Haber, let's hear your number 2 manager of the week.
Well, first of all, he's not my number 2, but I do want to give shout out and credit to Brian Lebo because it was a fun matchup. I told him afterwards how livid I was about, Jordan carrying his team and what happened on Sunday, but it doesn't take anything away from what Brian did this week. So hats off to him. My number 2 manager is going to go to Costas for a 15-6 shellacking on Christian Wood. And putting a halt in this rookie's major success in our league in the first 7 weeks. So thank you, Costas, for bringing this guy back down to earth a little bit. And congratulations on, the first really big lopsided victory we've seen for Costas this year. It's impressive.
Yes.
Jason Ashby, who is your number 2 this week?
And I will also just give a quick shout out to my opponent, Josh, for, again, just an incredible week, and specifically an incredible Saturday that really just wrecked me. But I'm going to go Chris Levy here. He gets the number 1 seed now with authority. And for all the reasons Ben said, look out for Chris Levy. He's on the tear right now.
This was an absolutely perfect storm week for Chris Levy. He doubles up on Mike Haber, and the 2 teams that he's chasing in the standings are 2 of the teams that get blown completely out in myself and Christian. That's really awesome to see when you take over first place for the first time ever in this league. For all those reasons and everything else everybody said, Chris Levy's my
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's that time of the week. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I was gonna throw in my number 1 of the week as well. But again, echoing your words, and that Chris Levy is just, he's a hell of a manager right now. He's doing it with his brain, and he's doing it with the players on the roster. He's like you said, perfect storm right now. Great team all around.
No
My number 1, it's got to be Christian Wood. Sorry, not Christian Wood. Costas. I'm going with Costas because he beat Christian Wood the way he did. Look, this is the first time maybe that Costas is even on the map this year as far as us picking him as one of the managers of the week. And honestly, I don't know, Mike. You said thank you for bringing him back to the pack, but all it means is that Costas just went up a little bit, know. So I don't know if it's not is necessarily what you wanted, but all I can say is the big dog is back. This guy that we know can play this game well, that we were really, really concerned about his offense that was shitty and whatever, and that, he can't, he's going to have trouble with all of his closers. Well, you know what? Give him time. Let him feel it out what his team is. And this guy's a dangerous man. And I'm really happy for him. I'm scared to play him right now because, you wonder, is it that his guys are going to be really, really freaking hot, or is it time to cool down, and you never know what you're going to be dealing with. But, I've beaten him 3 times, so it's due to happen eventually. He's eventually going to beat me. It might be now, and he might be ready to just soar through the standings the way he started to in the beginning of last season until he started to slide a little bit and then came back. So we'll see what kind of season it is for him, but he's definitely someone that we cannot count out. He's hovered around 500 all season.
Yep.
Costas has hovered, and he's starting to pick up steam, and I'm very concerned about what we're going to see from him going forward. Mike Haber, your number 1 manager of the week.
I said it before, Chris Levy was a couple of twists and turns away from a shutout. I can't not give him my number 1. So it goes to Chris Levy taking down Frank 14-3, but this very well could have been a 17-0 matchup.
Yeah.
So hats off to Chris Levy claiming first place for the first time, I have to give him manager of the week here. Have to.
I almost feel bad not having him as my manager of the week this week and only having him at 2 with that sales pitch that we just got from Mike Haber. Jason, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah. I really wanted to give it to Chris, and Mike makes some really good points, but I can't ignore what Costas did and making a statement that, like, don't forget, I was in the finals last year, and this is kind of why. Like, he just reminds you that he is a good manager, and he's not someone to be toyed with. So, congrats to Costas on a huge win. Keep it up.
For all of those reasons, dumping Christian back into the muck with everybody else and getting himself at the front of that chase pack that's behind the top 6. Yeah, it's got to be Costas this week. He was a hell of an opponent, and this was a hell of a time for him to get hot and knock somebody off like that. So Costas Paragas gets 9. That's 11 points this week for him. Chris Levy has 9. I'm going to just add all of these up and make sure that it's good.
Don't forget my 2.
Oh, of course. I'm also not forgetting my 2. Okay, let's see. Christian didn't get any. Josh, we got 2 for him. And now I just had that moment where I'm not doing the Excel program the right way right now. Mm-hmm.
Wait, Josh got more than 2. Were you not? Did you already do his once for that I gave him from last week?
We'll add that 3. That makes it 24. And then
Jimmy, I gave 3, and
no, Josh Haber only appeared once this week. It was your number 3.
Mine? Oh, no one else said. Okay.
No.
Sorry.
No. And then the number 3 from last week. So those are the number 2. So those are the 2 points. Brian Lebo gets a point here. He jumps up to 7 total. Ben, you've got 2 more. That puts you at 17. And Levy is the big mover this week. He gets 9 to 20. Costas, also a huge mover. He didn't have any points coming into this week. I didn't even have him on the list. That's how horrible it was. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Here is the leaderboard as it stands right now, gentlemen. We have Christian Wood still way out in front. Josh coming in second with 24. Actually, now it's 22 because I added 3 points rather than the original.
Yeah, I got a question about all this, and this has to do with this week. And it's just like, I mean, if Ari can't get on the board for what he did last week, then like, what does he have to do exactly to get picked? I mean, I realize the reasons why we didn't pick him. It's something I noticed. I mean, it's a hell of a
you're right.
blowout.
You're 100% right. This is. If there was any week where Ari is going to be on the board, it should have been and would have been this week. But
it's sad because we can only pick 3, and it's just
we're going to pay more attention to the guys that put in more work, like a Josh or a Brian Lebo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The tracker looks like this, gentlemen. Chris Levy at the top here with Jimmy, Ben, Josh, myself, and Christian all within 9 games of the lead. And then a big jump, 6 games back to Costas, Lebo, Bobby, McCloskey. It's a really bunched up group with 6 at the top and then a bunch right behind it. The most and worst this week, again, I talked about Jimmy having 52 runs scored. It's the most of the season. Also had a set the record for home runs in a week with 14. So been a great week. Guys, that's week 8. We're more than a third of the way through the season, and we're about to hit the halfway point in another couple of weeks.
Wow.
You guys got to put some pep in your step here. You got to get back up to the top where you belong.
Yeah.
And as
time's moving quick.
Yep. Jason from California on vacation following the Mets. Thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it for the world, and happy to do it from wherever I can. And yeah, this is always great. I'm hoping for better things in the weeks to come for my team, but yeah, it's always fun here, guys.
Mike Haber, Hillsdale, New Jersey. Thank you so much for being here as well. And we got 2 weeks left until you're no longer worrying about kids in school and stuff, right?
Yep. Two more weeks, and then I can, feel guiltless staying up late with you guys. But yeah, no, I'm thrilled to be here, and there's something special about having all four of us together on a show, and it's different, it's unique, and it feels right, So
Definitely
I'm
a
really
group hug.
glad we were able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Nisman, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
I'll give you the final word on.
Thank you for having me, Joe. And I'm going to just add to the mush right now because I'm also so happy when the four of us get to talk on Mondays now. It's just become that regular part of my schedule that I look forward to. And there was just no trash talking between Joe and I this week. And when it was all over, this man texted me and said, the better man and the better team won. So all out there that have an opinion about Joe Schubert, do not let the rhetoric and the beard fool you. This man has a heart of platinum, and I love him dearly. And so much respect. And I can't wait to do more with you guys because this was an incredibly fun week, and it's been a hell of a season. And I know everyone is enjoying it a lot. Thank you so much for helping me put this together and make it what it is. It's I can't describe it because I'm just so happy and overwhelmed with graciousness. And thanks again, guys.
It's been an incredible 8 weeks so far, guys, and we have got so many more to go. I think it's 13 for the regular season by my math. It's a math pod. It's also a baseball pod. It's the Bigs podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Ring that bell so that you know when we go live or when we upload new content. If you're listening to us on any of the listening platforms like Bullhorn or Spotify, other ones that I'm not going to list out here, thank you. Go ahead and share this with your league mates. Share this with the people that you care about. Or don't share it because you're going to use this information to win your league. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram for outtakes, hot takes, and my attempt to make Frank Bucco a meme. Until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the Bigs. We'll see you next time.